with the Islamic Republic to sever financial ties or face retaliation from the U.S. Fox's Jared Halpern.
Describing an economic D-Day, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says new U.S. sanctions will block all foreign revenue streams to Iran.
Our objective is to sever every economic lifeline that sustains this tyrannical regime until Tehran stands alone.
Bessent says President Trump and Treasury officials are calling counterparts to deliver timelines for countries to cut ties with Iran or face stiff secondary sanctions.
If they do not take action, we will do so unilaterally through Treasury authorities.
China, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates are among Iran's largest trading partners. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Iran says it's been preparing for the new sanctions for a long time. And new evidence is prompting a trial delay for a Libyan man charged in the 1988 bombing of Pan Am Flight 103 that killed 270 people, mostly Americans. Jury selection had been set for Wednesday in Washington, D.C. America's listening to Fox News.
When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. A, that it works, and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our audience do that. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I want you to hear a few of their stories. Doug took Relief Factor for nearly a year before convincing his wife, a special needs teacher, to try it. She had been using assistance just to move through the long hallways at school. Now she's back on her feet every day and never had to leave the job that she loves. I remember when buttoning my shirt was almost impossible, but Relief Factor changed how I'm able to do it and the simple things again. And they make it really easy now for you to find out if you can be the next person that's telling us about Relief Factor and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks, $17.76. Try it. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with their friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us as well. ReliefFactor.com.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los on Extra 106.3. Glad to be back with you. It's been a day or two. Feels like it's been a day or two. A nice trip to the beach and well rested. Got a little sun on my skin and ready to get back to work. Front office Los, buddy, how are you?
You know, for years it's been part of the national lexicon. How do we have such a thing as a Malibu Ken to go with Barbie?
That's right.
We now all understand what beach tug now means.
That's exactly right, buddy. I had a little sun kiss. I'm just fine with it. But let me tell you, dude, we did nothing.
Nice.
Nothing. Woo! For sure, no doubt.
Being active is overrated.
It is, dude.
It really is.
All we did was eat too much, drink too much, and lay on the beach too much. I mean, that was the extent of it. We went to Floribama one night. On the last night, went out there and caught a little bit of a cover band and watched, while they were in a break from the set, went and watched the end of the Braves game. And then, that was Sunday night. And then we left yesterday morning and got on home and got back in here this morning, man. How is everything with you? How's the fam? How's the kids?
First off, really great. Thank you for asking. Also, I do want to point out that this for the audience. Tug and I work in an industry where we count seconds, and we do it every single day. So there's a reason why when we go on vacation, we do nothing.
Yeah, boy, no kidding.
I mean, that's the allure of it, that you're not responsible at all for anything time-wise.
Finally, for a day or two, right? And everybody would be like, hey, do y'all want to go out and get dinner tonight? Nope.
Maybe.
Nope.
We'll see.
No. And my answer every time was no. They're like, well, we have a lot of leftovers that, from the last few nights. I was like, let's just eat that. And sure enough, we did, man. That was
Tug,
great.
When we had our 20th anniversary with my wife and I,
yeah.
When we got to the Dominican and all these other couples are like, which excursion are you going on? We're like, none of them. Like, when do y'all plan to go dinner over here? We don't.
We don't. We're not going to do any of that.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite. Doing nothing is my favorite. And I think you may be right. And maybe it's like this for every industry. I don't know. Or everybody. I don't know. But you're right. It is like you're responsible for something for so often, every day, every second, almost every second is accounted for. So when I didn't have to account for any of them, I didn't.
Then you didn't do anything.
Dude,
And I'm very proud of you. I'm glad that y'all did nothing.
I didn't even take my watch off the. My watch was on when we drove down there. I took it off and put it on like the dresser in the bedroom. Never put it back on until we left. I didn't want to know what time it was. I didn't
Good
care.
for you guys.
I
Nice.
didn't care what time it was.
Nice.
All I did was drink a lot of rum.
Well,
A lot.
I only have a couple text messages to show for it, but they were quite enjoyable when you would reach out.
That's good news. Good news. And the girls played volleyball yesterday. They played ball yesterday.
Yeah, both of them were in action yesterday. The middle school team was in action, which my wife was splitting time. She came to the varsity match and then she went to the middle school match.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got their work done, and then the varsity team now 16-2 on the year.
Good
and
heavens.
So now we didn't get out of there for a while. We had a big matchup with Woodward Academy, and that team is really, really good. But yeah, so we got a day off from that, and then right back on the court. We start regional play on Thursday, so we're done with non-regional. Thursday's regional time.
Holy smokes. Goodness gracious. Yeah, you know what? You know why I guess it feels so confusing? Because today feels like Monday to me.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
Tuesday. And I was like, man, they playing on a Sunday? You know, in my head, that's why I was like, they played yesterday? That's why that was a big question mark behind it.
I get it. You wrapped it around a weekend, which is smart to do. You got the Friday, you got the Monday. You know, thank you to Victor for subbing in for
Love
you.
that dude.
We had a good time. Everything was really good.
He's such a good dude.
I told Victor, I said, thank you for subbing in when I was out. Tug was rave reviews about you, and that proved to be true once again.
Yeah, he's awesome.
That was the deal, was in my mind going, all right, he left. He got down there, what was it, Thursday, and now he's got basically like a really strong 3 days. And then we were joking around on the show yesterday that when you hit that Monday morning and you're doing like the slow pack up of like, I got to go back.
Oh, man.
I didn't think you were coming back.
Buddy, let me tell you, if I could have done one more day would have been perfect. Like, it was almost perfect because one more day would have been like that would have been the great equalizer for sure. But it was good, and I'm glad that we did it, and glad that blew off a little steam, but glad to be back here too. Like I said, watch the Braves game at the Floribama. Between a set with the cover band, and I know that they beat the Brewers in that final game on Sunday 4-2. That was the Little League World Series Classic or whatever it was, but
right.
Prior to that, took a couple losses to the Brew Crew, but the Brew Crew is really, really good. And then, but they that Twin series didn't turn out all that well. Dodgers coming up. I'm hoping that we can do something with these Dodgers here.
Well, this is the stretch where you are facing one first place team after another, and don't forget, they had to go and play an afternoon game against the White Sox, another team that is right in the thick of it in the American League, because no one runs away with anything in the American League this year. And so now you open up the homestand at Truist, and you'll get a little bit of a break at the end of it with the Rockies, but for the next 3 days, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you're facing the other team that is just as good as you are, if not maybe a little bit better, and their pitching is front line. And so hopefully some home cooking will help for the Braves and get them rolling.
Yeah, man, absolutely. We'll take all the home cooking we can get. Goodness, the Dodgers. God, I want to beat them so bad. There's just nothing worse. I mean, there really is nothing worse than
I don't know if anything's going to beat that October evening in 2021 where they came into your house and you beat them in a Game 6, and it's to go to the World Series. That's still one of the best sporting events I've ever been to.
It was good, no doubt. It was. It's fun, and it'll be fun to see the Braves, see how they match up, man. If you can do that versus if you can, have a good homestand versus the Dodgers, then the future looks really good. You feel confident that you can get some things done. Now, if they come in here and just beat your tail, buddy,
which is entirely possible, but there are going to be some people that'll be ready to fire Alex Anthopoulos and trade Ronald Acuna, just whatever. It'll be, people being crazy,
Yeah,
we have 5 more weeks to play.
I know.
All right, this is still going for a while.
I know it, but don't you think though you're going to have people down the hall, especially down the hall?
Well, people are idiots.
I know.
People watch a baseball season like they watch a college football season, as if there's some immediacy to the moment, or one loss suddenly knocks you out. And I do recall. Throughout the course of this year, it's been we don't have enough pitching. What did we do at the deadline? Well, things have been okay. All right. It's been fine.
We have been all right. Speaking of college football, this Saturday, it's the game from Ireland, UNC and TCU. And then the 3:30 game is North Carolina State, Virginia Tech. And there's another game in there. See, Sacramento State and Eastern Michigan don't really matter, but who cares? We'll take it just because it's football. San
you
Jose
can bet
State.
on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right,
all that matters.
That's all that matters. San Jose State and USC, Jacksonville State versus North Dakota State and Hawaii and Stanford, rather, not Sanford over in Birmingham, but Stanford out in California. So college football's back. I mean, you can literally see we're not to the weekend, but you can see it. You can see it just over the hilltop. There it is. And you can't touch it. No, they'll throw you out. They'll throw you out.
Just so everybody knows, this opening weekend and what you're going to have are this week zero games. You're going to get a whole lot of, like, for instance, you brought up Southern Cal and San Jose State. They'll play 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, Southern Cal is a 38.5 point favorite. All right, most of these games are going to look like that.
Yeah, that's big.
Utah's 33.5. Missouri plays Arkansas Pine Bluff 54.5. Miami is on the road playing Stanford. That probably is like the most interesting game on a Friday on September 4th. That's going to be the following. And even that game to open up things is 24.5.
Yeah, well.
So it's just what it's going to be for the time being, but it's back and enjoy it. Georgia. You want to make a play for when Georgia starts off next weekend? Yeah. Georgia 47.5, and remember Kirby Smart in those games very rarely covers against Tennessee State.
Yeah, because he's not trying to run up a score.
They're only going to win by like a 13 point.
Yeah, I was thinking
look bad.
They're going to win by like 45, and people are going to be like, "Why didn't you score 3 more?"
I love it. Okay, so I kept seeing this pop up last night because I knew nothing about it. When I'm telling you, I put my phone down. I'm not looking at my phone. Nothing. I did nothing.
Oh, Bryson, I will enlighten you.
Yeah, so I was hoping you would. It is this whole, I just saw it pop up, and it was something about Lane Kiffin calling a OC or something with the Cleveland Browns and saying, hey, I'm going to bring one of your guys off your practice squad or something back in college football to help me understand this.
So we opened up yesterday's show talking about this.
Okay.
And we can get into a little bit more detail, but here's what it boils down to. Right now, you have the NCAA who has instituted a new rule, 5 to play 5.
Right.
So
yep.
Your graduating class, you have 5 years to play 5 years worth of ball, no matter what the sport is.
Right.
The issue that is occurring is that even though the NCAA had said it will not be retroactive to players who have already played.
Right.
The problem has been is that they have won in court.
So they're suing and saying the NCAA is saying, or the courts are saying the NCAA cannot stick with that.
No. The NCAA does not have the enforcement to be able to tell players, hey, you did your 4 years, that's all you get.
Right, that's what I mean.
Okay, and so at this point, you have former college players who have signed professional contracts who aren't going to make NFL teams who are coming back to college football.
Goodness, good night. Well, look, it's the wild, wild west. Rules be damned, I guess.
In this case, Daquan Wright, he's already been with 2 NFL teams. Okay, he signed as an undrafted free agent with the Philadelphia Eagles, went to camp with the Browns. He's not going to make the team, but he had a really tremendous year for Ole Miss last year, so Lane Kiffin can't wait to get him back over at LSU.
Yeah.
Ole Miss is paranoid, though. They had the FBI sweep their building for bugs to see if Lane Kiffin put any bugs in their office.
Wow. Did they find any?
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. God, that is so crazy. Man, it wouldn't surprise me these days, though, if somebody wasn't trying to get an edge by bugging the building something. I mean, sending something, like in a movie, sending like the guy that's dressed up as repairman going there. I'm with Verizon Wireless.
I think you're burying the lead here, both of you guys. I think this is the death of Tug's favorite sport.
Yeah, it's definitely the death of it. Yeah.
It's a slow one, too.
You can talk about bugs all you want.
Yeah.
This is the death of college football for
totally
Tug.
Is. It totally is. Do you not think it is too, Los? Or no?
I think this is extremely problematic. And as of right now, you have the SEC who will release a statement, and they're looking to Congress like, please give us some help here.
And Nick Saban wants to do that too. And Nick Saban's been very vocal. Hey, you got to fix this, or college football will die. And right now, it's like it's been shot in the shoulder, and it's getting closer and closer as they continue to shoot closer and closer to that chest shot.
I think this would be like an old Western, and so far the arrow is just in the shoulder.
Yeah.
And there's one in the gut, and you're wondering, okay, what's the kill shot coming?
Oh, yeah, or when is it coming?
But I think the larger question, I brought this up yesterday for just a small portion of the show, and we'll get a chance to get a little more into this. In a capitalist country, why are you able to make stipulations as to where somebody can work and for how long?
Yeah.
When it's not collectively bargained that way. It's not like the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I just think, for so many years it was, hey, the NCAA has made the rule. This is the rule we're going to play by. Lane Kiffin does not see it that way. He's like, I see it as I'm going to get the best player I can for my football team. He played for me last year. I know about him. But doesn't take into consideration the damage it'll do. Doesn't care what the damage is. Lane Kiffin's not a guy that is a principled guy. If you were to ask me what I think about Mr. Kiffin.
Well, I mean, you want to bring up Lane Kiffin, I give you Nate Oates.
Okay.
And keep in mind, Nate Oates over at the University of Alabama, the basketball coach.
Yeah.
I mean, he tried this.
Yeah.
And a multitude of basketball coaches have tried this. And if you just talk about the legal standpoint, now that we have a very clear, okay, you have 5 years to play 5, that's what's opened up the door. When before you had that NCAA rule that came into play, you had basically the NCAA and you had the member leagues basically say, no, you can't go from the G League where you signed a contract to be a minor leaguer for an NBA team and come back to college basketball. But because of the NCAA and the rules they make, they opened up a window here, and the courtrooms are allowing it.
Yeah, no, that which is crazy, because that's I think what I'm trying to say is that in the past it was much more of a tradition. Hey, this is the way we've done it. This is the way it's always been. This is the way we're going to continue to do it. Now people are like, I don't give a damn how it's been done. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win.
Well, let me ask this question. I think this is the larger question here. It's that what power does the NCAA have to determine how long somebody can hold a job?
Yeah, well, no, I get it.
Because it's a job now.
It is, right.
It's not win one for the Gipper anymore.
No, I know, right? You probably didn't see it, but I just held up the zero. They have zero ability.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're completely.
That's the argument.
Well, and at some point, Los, the SEC and the Big Ten are going to form their own thing, or the SEC go by themselves. But the NCAA is not going to have anything to do with the Power Four. It'll just be everything Power Four and below. Don't you think that?
I firmly believe it. I used to refer to it as Super D1, that they will form their own league. It'll be collectively bargained. It'll just be an offshoot as a professional league. And keep in mind, for anyone who says to themselves, well, why don't these guys just go straight to the NFL? Because it's collectively bargained by the NFL and their players that you have to wait at least 3 years after you've graduated high school. So it's very clear, and it's been challenged multitudes of times over the last 25 years, and at no point has a player been able to enter early before their third year out of high school is done. So there's somewhere you have to go, and you got to make money there, right? Yep. So why not stay in college football? It's going to exist, but it is a professional league.
Without a doubt. There is no question about it. And if there were questions, Mr. Kiffin pretty much put the answer right in your face. Here, look at here. Look at here.
It's just causing more problems on the eve of college football. It's gonna be wild. The first real Saturday, Tug. When you and I get up in the morning to watch game day like we always do, and this will be a discussion point.
I know it will be a bit, and Coach Saban is gonna be mad as a hornet. He's gonna be upset about all this because he thinks it's the just like we do, the kill shot for college football, college sports.
If Nick Saban had the resources at Alabama. Now, this isn't under the old system. The old system, he had all the resources. And now that the game has changed and the amount of money your community has, that is the biggest factor. And once that was drawing up, he saw the scoreboard. He's like, I'm getting out of here. The issue, I believe, is going to be is that once those resources are now gone, Nick Saban looked at it and it's like, this game has changed too much. I can't have success. It's time for me to move on. It's going to be wild for him to have to talk about this stuff, but be honest about, I can't compete at Alabama of all places. Given what it looks like now.
Because what's the big industry that's taking care of Alabama? Which big company?
Right.
Because Auburn does have Apple, right? They're got the.
They also got Yellowwood.
Yeah, Yellowwood. That's right. Crazy thing is, right now, for now, Auburn is not in a good place, man. They've struggled. When are they going to either A, figure out this game, or B, I don't think there is a B. When are they going to A, figure out this game? They got to figure it out.
I'm telling you, this is the Ferrari dealership test. Look up where the closest Ferrari dealership is to your university. That'll tell you about the chances they have under the current rules. And by the way, the Big Ten has all of these schools, but they're all in. Like, Columbus is not a small community.
Right.
For Ohio State. They have plenty of industry to support that. Same thing with Ann Arbor. This is not like, in this case, Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll have to. And look, you're seeing that as things start to change, and the Big Ten has, won the last 3 national championships. It seems like it's trending that way a little bit.
Oh, and by the way, in Indiana had Mark Cuban as their benefactor.
Yeah, exactly.
A billionaire.
Pretty good. Pretty good to have that guy.
We're almost to next week, by the way, when we have college football for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Let's freaking go.
Yes.
Let's go. All right, when we continue on Extra 106.3, the more we find out about this one particular candidate, the worse it gets. Next on Extra.
Morning Extra, Neil Boyce, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Extra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
I mean, I was down at the beach, so the humidity there was through the roof, and I loved every bit of it. Now, not everybody did. There were days, as we're down there, and people were like, wow, it is really hot. I'm like, yeah, isn't it great? We're at the beach. It's supposed to be hot. But you don't want it to be hot in your house. When I got back home, guess what? I did not want it to be inside, hot or humid. Central Heating and Air Conditioning makes that happen for me. They can make it happen for you, too. We've had, a bit of rain. Was last week we had some rain. We're out of a drought. We've had so much rain. 10-month drought. So that is leading to excess moisture that can build up inside your home. Sticky, muggy, even when that air conditioner is running, man, it's running like a marathon too. 408 AC is just trying its best to make it all work. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck and his team, recommend a whole house dehumidifier. Works for the HVAC, takes out that excess moisture throughout the house, helping improve your comfort, get rid of those musty odors, especially in that basement. And then have a healthier indoor environment altogether. Right now, you can get $1,700 in carrier rebates and 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. Turn to your Atlanta carrier experts at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering carrier comfort for the world we share.
Lawyer billboards. You might be too. If you're injured in a car crash, you don't hire a lawyer because they're sweet or strong or the biggest. You hire a lawyer who is recognized by their peers as one of the top lawyers in the state. You hire a lawyer who's going to listen to you, fight for you, and has the case results to prove it. That lawyer is me, Bruce Hagan, the people's lawyer. I've been proudly selected by my fellow lawyers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state, and for 21 consecutive years as Georgia's super lawyer. Hagan-law.com, Hagan-law.com.
At Jim Ellis Chevrolet, buying your next vehicle can be as simple, convenient, and personal as you want it to be. With the Jim Ellis Expressway, you can start or complete your entire purchase online right from home.
Shop at your own pace, on your own time, with no pressure. Prefer to handle things independently? You can. Want guidance along the way? A knowledgeable Jim Ellis Chevrolet sales professional is ready to help whenever you need it.
Value your trade, explore payment options, complete your purchase online, and even have your new vehicle delivered to your home.
Buying Buying online may be convenient, but having the right dealership behind you matters. Jim Ellis Chevrolet is a local, family-owned dealership built on trust, transparency, and long-term relationships.
Unlike some national auto dealers, Jim Ellis Chevrolet takes care of you before the sale, during the purchase, and long after you drive home.
Convenience makes buying easier. Trust makes owning easier. Visit JimEllisChevrolet.com.
Or stop by the dealership on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter. Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, August 25th, and here are your headlines. The U.S. and Canada are heading toward an even bigger trade fight as Canada is expected to announce retaliatory tariffs today after President Trump warned Canadian leaders to, quote, fall in line or face consequences far worse. Trump says tariffs on Canadian vehicles, steel, and other imports could rise to 50%, while Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says Ottawa won't accept being treated as a subsidiary of the United States. NASA is putting $10 million into Georgia Tech to help fill the aerospace industry skilled labor gap. The program will train workers for jobs including welding, machining, and artificial intelligence rather than focus solely on traditional aerospace careers. The officials say Georgia is already home to nearly 800,000 aerospace jobs. And finally, Georgia governor's race is getting more personal. Democrat Keisha Lance Bottoms confronted Rick Jackson at an event and asked him to keep her family out of his campaign ads. Jackson's campaign has been targeting Bottoms for over a taxpayer-funded plane ticket for her husband while she was Atlanta mayor, while Jackson is touting endorsements from 104 Georgia sheriffs. Expect mostly sunshine today with a high of 92 and a low of 71. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
I guess I should love this, but I really don't, and I'll explain why. Nike, I was reading from Daniel Friedman. He posted this on Twitter, on X. Nike has lost nearly 80% of its market cap over the last 5 years. When the stock was at its peak, Ethan Strauss wrote the definitive take on how the company was fumbling the bag. And they were defined by Jordan competitiveness, machismo, heavy male customer base. They thought they could double in size if they also could be the Lululemon at the same time. And he goes into a bunch of description about that. And somebody had quote tweeted it and talked about the Kaepernick thing. Talked about they had a Betsy Ross shoe they were going to do, and they canceled it. They partnered with Dylan Mulvaney, and then they just go through all kind of the leftist stuff that they had done. The last one will stand out to you, terminating Kyrie Irving over not taking the vaccine. So when I read that, I thought, man, I should love this, because I'm always doing my best not to buy Nike, because sometimes I have to. Sometimes because my favorite team, Georgia, I think, is a Nike university. So a lot of their stuff is Nike, and I love Georgia enough that I just have to hold my nose and do it. But I don't celebrate the downfall of Nike. Or if it is a downfall, how about the step down of Nike? Because downfall is overstating it.
No, they dominated the marketplace in apparel and shoes for so long that it's not like they're going to have some sort of crushing defeat. It's not like they're going to be Converse.
That's right.
But when you lose some of your market, you kind of start asking, well, why did that happen?
And the reason I don't celebrate it is because it was a great American story, a great American company. I mean, it changed everything. They were so successful with everything they did. I remember loving Nikes back in the day. Now I'm seeing kids wear shoes that I wore when I was a kid.
Yeah, the retro.
Yeah.
Especially the retro Jordans.
Yep.
Now, I don't have any.
I don't either.
My wife does have a pair. Mm-hmm. So are some of the other volleyball moms. That's like, first off, like, the Air Force Ones were for you and I. Now women wear Air Force Ones because they're stylish.
Yep.
You know, it's like that's the sort of deal that goes on now.
And the Dunks, the Nike Dunks that the kids love, and I see even baseball players wearing them as cleats. It's these guys. I know you'll recognize them. Yep. We all had them in the 90s. We all had them. Every one of us had them. Either the low-top version or the high-top version, and it was the coolest, man. It was the greatest.
The strange thing that Nike did, and I know at some point when we talk about like Harvard Business Reviews, how there's always going to be Like one day there will be one on Bud Light. How do you go from Bud Light to dropping off? And it's going to go to, you made the wrong hire with a marketing firm. That marketing firm was all about DEI. They wanted to try and get away from a frat boy image, even though frat boys everywhere love Bud Light. Grown men, blue-collar workers, me, everybody loves Bud Light. Yet you turned it into a symbol for transsexualism, and we all decided we weren't buying it at that point. Nike is also going to have this story partly told by, they went into a customization area where you could order shoes custom, which I've done it. My wife has done it.
We've done it for my son.
It's so cool.
It is.
The problem was that they started giving up storefronts in the interest of that. And so couple that with some of the societal changes and some of the politics, and it all culminates in how you end up going from the dominant force to where they're at.
Look at that, though. In the past 5 years, down 76%.
Down 76%.
7%.
Yeah.
I'm not celebrating it. I wish they would get their head out of their backside and just be the shoe company that I fell in love with. That when I buy a UGA polo or T-shirt or jacket or hoodie or whatever, that I don't have to hold my nose doing it. That's all I wish. I don't wish that they were falling apart because they made stupid cultural choices.
So you've dragged me into a conversation that I love.
Okay.
Now, you do that regularly, but in this case, this is another end of it. Do you know the story of Steph Curry and Nike?
Yeah. When
you want me to fill in a little bit here for you?
If I'm not mistaken, when they were pitching him, they had something wrong with the pitch to him.
They had a picture that wasn't him to start with.
There you go. Yes.
So they're pitching him, and this is the exact same scenario that was happening when Nike pitched Jordan. They promised him so many different aspects of, we're building the company around you, a shoe line, here's what we're going to do. Whereas everybody else was just like giving him the standard pitch. Well, Steph Curry's sitting there and he's getting the standard pitch and doesn't even have his picture.
Which is insulting enough.
And what they didn't know was that the way he was going to play basketball was going to revolutionize the game. And it did. And so when he signed with Under Armour, he turned Under Armour into this billion-dollar monster in the basketball shoe front. Not everywhere, but the basketball shoes that exploded.
Yep.
When Steph Curry's deal ended, he ended up signing just recently with Li Ning. Now, that is a Chinese-based company. You might know it. Those are the people that produce Way of Wades, which are some of the most popular shoes in basketball, volleyball, any of those sports. And now they have Steph Curry, because even a Chinese company didn't make the same mistake that Nike did.
Yeah, it's little that, I don't know. I say little. That's giant. But then doing the things that they did with Kaepernick was giant because they just turned off so many people.
We'll get it right off the top. Number one, when I asked AI about explaining the loss of market share and stock prices, failed direct-to-consumer pivot.
Yep.
And then persistent weakness in Greater China, inventory glut, macro and cost headwinds, which is the politics end of it.
No doubt about it.
All of it culminated to do this.
I say all that and have this discussion with Los and you because I don't want to cheer against Nike. I have no desire to cheer against Nike. I feel like they're cheering against me half the time, and that's not a good place to be.
They just went down such a strange road that, couple that with the business decisions that they made, and predominantly this was business, that once the business started to have issues, well, then the politics might as well piggybacked it right to the ground.
Yeah. Tough, man. Tough. I hope they figure it out. I don't know that they'll ever be the same brand that they were. Morning Xtra and Extra 106.3 Tug and Los until 10. If killing dogs at like a 75% rate wasn't bad enough for Abdul El Said up in Michigan, which that was, for me, not that was the straw that broke the camel's back. I guess it's just all of his communism and Islamo-Marxism was that was plenty enough. But then you throw in the fact that it was like a 75% kill rate at the shelters that he was in charge of in Detroit. I was done. The more you find out, the more done you are.
Workers said it was excessive.
Yeah.
I think that was the part when it jumped out to us.
Called it like a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, because as Tug and I were explaining at that time, if you have the same sort of stuff going on in Atlanta, and I'm sure it does, but somebody's going to blow the whistle when they're like, hey, why are no dogs getting out of here? And as they put it was a slaughterhouse. So it's like everything you find out, something else, you kind of go, oh, okay, was not aware of that. Maybe that's the reason why you ended up winning your election by 1%. All right, you're going to have a hard time, I think, in your state, in Michigan, when it comes to running up against your opponent, who I believe is going to garner quite a bit of mainstream, blue dog, whatever that version of it is, Democrat support. And then we add this in. So the Islamic American Relief Agency, the IARA, is an organization that has been cited by the U.S. government as providing financial support for terrorist networks. Again, this is the Islamic American Relief Agency. And it's all in the documents, the United States as the plaintiff versus the IARA. And it goes through what they were doing. In this case, and you can also find this in the Midwesterner, it basically talks about how they would raise and donate money to Osama bin Laden, to the Taliban, and to Hamas. And they had done so since 1999. Hundreds of thousands of dollars that were designated to these terrorist organizations from, again, in the filing by the United States government, this was the organization that was responsible for it. As it turns out, Al Sayed's mother worked for that group.
That's a gigantic surprise. Now, I mean, nobody could have saw that coming. It's so fitting. It's so obvious that things like this are happening and going on. I just don't know how anybody, I really don't understand. And I've tried to understand, like, what is the draw? What is it that makes people think, yeah, man, Islamo-Marxism is, yeah, it's good. I love some socialism, love some communism. I don't understand the draw, because nothing government touches works. Nothing government touches gets better. And you've seen the fraud that goes on when administrations like the Biden administration, and look, establishment Republicans too, give them some credit because they deserve it. All the fraud that happens. What is the draw, Los? Because I don't get it.
No.
There's nothing there that makes me go, yeah, man. I just saw where the director of the VA said, I've been here for 2 years, man. I've done all I can do. And I know he was a good man.
There's no helping this scenario.
That's what I'm saying. And people are like, yeah, I want more government involved.
We did a segment, and we were talking about how, all right, one time that occurred, twice, interesting, 3's a trend, 6 is what you do. We had 6 Democrats last week that either pled guilty or had charges that were all directly related to fraud. COVID relief fraud, campaign finance fraud, all sorts of fraud. And it was from the Northeast all the way to Georgia, all the way to Arizona. It was all over the country. It wasn't just one isolated incident or one area of the country. And so when you start to dig into this stuff, then you wonder, like, well, how did this person have a mother who was working for a terrorist organization? It's because they're terrorist sympathizers.
That's right. And they don't really hide it.
I don't think that she was just answering the phone.
Yeah, she just randomly, just surprisingly.
IARA, where would you like your money to go today?
A terrorist organization, please. And then when you think about that money being, because you said they started sending it there in 99?
99 through 2004 is what the government, when it comes to their document, this is in the United States District Court for the Western District of Missouri. The documentation is from a time period from 99 to 2004.
I don't know if you remember what happened in 2001, because you brought up bin Laden's name.
Yep.
99, that would give you 2 years, almost 3, because September 11th was late in the year, obviously. That would give you basically 3 years to fundraise and filter money and send money and plan.
Now, granted, maybe you just happen to work the desk and you answer the phone and you fax wherever your boss tells you to or anything else. That's entirely possible. That is not out of the realm of possibility. But what I would ask you is this. When you're Abdullah Muhammad El Sayed, you are partnering to hit the campaign trail with Hassan Piker, who talks about how America deserved 9/11, and who has said some of the most vile things you possibly can about this country and the need for the destruction of it.
And is an open communist.
Open communist. So here is your red-green agenda coming together in this way. And El Sayed's mom just happens to work for an organization that in a 33-count indictment, the government found that they were funding terrorist groups illegally.
It's got to be an anomaly. Has to be, right?
Kind of. Occam's razor says
man.
It's because it's who they are.
It's because they're who they are.
The simple answer, typically the correct one.
Yeah, and it is obvious what is happening. Because we played it earlier, some DSAers talking about how they hate the Constitution. They can't wait to shred the Constitution. That's what's going to give them the ability to enact the revolution that they want to see and the government that they hate and want to get rid of. They want to get rid of your God-given rights that the Constitution tells you comes from not government, but God. That's the document that they want to get rid of.
Like, I would like to think, and I know I've disparaged Tug enough today between the jokes about his black voice guys he does and his friends and everything else, but so I will
talk to the fishes.
I will disparage myself. If there was some weird case down the road where the people my wife worked for were financing some polygamist organization, and then I got caught up in why does he have 3 wives? Are you not going to believe that these two things might be linked together?
You'd be hard pressed not to go. It just logically.
Logically, there's a connection here.
I see what's happening.
It'd be a different thing if no, there's no connection at all. He does not believe in having 5 wives, and this is something where, you know what, his wife was taking care of HR on this thing, had no idea what the higher ups were doing. But when you have the mother's connection to an organization that is illegally financing terror groups around the world for 5 years, and her son just happens to pal around with a guy who says America deserves it.
Probably.
Strange, isn't it?
It's not much of a leap. It's not like you have to.
In 2008, you were vilified for asking this about Barack Obama.
Yeah, you are.
About saying, hold on, look at his connections. Look at his Marxist upbringing.
Yeah.
Is it weird that he continues to talk about spreading the wealth around?
Is it strange that he says he wants to fundamentally change America?
Does this not
It stood out to me.
like odd? Does it not feel that you were in a black theology church that you were talking about in the case of Reverend Wright? GD America?
Yeah.
The chickens have come home to roost? I haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
It's only been 18 years.
Yeah.
That's a connection that we weren't making in 2008. We were never allowed to, but we should be doing it now, and you should be pointing it out until they can prove that they're innocent of this stuff.
Some of us were. Some of us were asking those questions.
Some of us were.
Yeah, they were. Because I kept thinking to myself, fundamentally change America. I was like, I don't want to fundamentally change it. I think, is America perfect? No. Will it ever be? We're striving for a more perfect union. From the founding, from the beginning, we're striving for a more perfect union. So fundamentally changing things would mean flipping it upside down. I don't think that's a good idea. And I remember seeing people just love. I was like, do you not realize? And at that time, I didn't know his background.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sean Hannity was detailing that out. It was all easily discoverable. In fact, when we've had Neil Bortz on, he's talked about meeting the very professors that brought up what he was like in college. Not to mention,
because he wanted a violent revolution. That's what he said.
There is so much about that background where you go, oh, that was a signal. Well, then, yeah, you should be asking the same thing about El Sayed. The rest of these, and we'll chronicle this more, because I definitely want to be able to jump more into these DSA members, how they're not Joseph Stalin. They're more Castro. They come from wealthy families. They're playing revolutionary. They're playing blue collar. They're playing regular Joe. None of them are. So you should be making those connections and pointing out, hey, this person who keeps telling you it's about making things even for everybody, why do they have a trust fund where they don't have to work?
Yeah, right. Why is it not even for them? Why will it never be even for them?
Why are they asking for power from you to get even with what they've told you are your enemies, yet none of that will ever affect them?
Because socialism is for you.
It's for you. Communism is for you.
It's not for them. Tug and Los until 10 on Xtra 106.3. So let me guess. The libs out in Athens are probably okay with this too, since they always vote this way. 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett.
106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, August 25th. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand at Truist Park tonight with a visit from the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound for the Braves this evening. He'll be opposed by Tyler Glasnow. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From college football, the Southeastern Conference issued a statement last night in belief that athletes who leave college and sign professional contracts should not be permitted to be part of collegiate athletics once again, saying, quote, college athletes, not former professional athletes, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Individuals who choose to leave college athletics, sign professional playing contracts, and compete professionally should not be then permitted to return to college competition. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
At Jim Ellis Cadillac, buying your next vehicle can be as simple, convenient, and personal as you want it to be. With the Jim Ellis Expressway, you can start or complete your entire purchase online, right from home. Shop at your own pace, on your own time, with no pressure.
Prefer to handle things independently? You can. Want guidance along the way? A knowledgeable Jim Ellis Cadillac sales professional is ready to help whenever you need it.
Value your trade, explore payment options, complete your purchase online, and even have your new vehicle delivered to your home.
Buying online may be convenient. Having the right dealership behind you matters. Jim Ellis Cadillac is a local family-owned business built on trust, transparency, and long-term relationships.
Unlike some national auto dealers, Jim Ellis Cadillac takes care of you before the sale, during the purchase, and long after you drive home.
Convenience makes buying easier. Trust makes owning easier. Visit JimEllisCadillac.com or stop by the dealership on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter.
Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
Every year, summer ends and the kids go back to school. This year, I'm going back too, at My Computer Career. They helped me get financial aid, and I got to choose online or on-campus classes to fit my needs. Now I'm on a fast track to a high-demand IT career where the rewards can finally match my value. Visit mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. That's mycomputercareer.edu. It's never too late to go back to school.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Got a home project coming up? Don't miss the All Four Seasons Home Show, hosted by Dan Watkins of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors and Chris Lalamia of the Trusted Toolbox. Every week, they talk with experts from Atlanta's top home improvement companies, sharing tips on plumbing, roofing, landscaping, and more. This week, we have Jordan Warrington from Junkman Removal. So don't miss the All Four Seasons Home Show, Saturday mornings at 9 on Extra 106.3.
Communism destroys everything, no matter where it's been tried. And Ossoff is now part of that Democrat Party where it's a civil war, and they've cast their lot with tear it all down.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Yeah, Tug and Los on Extra 106.3. We're on here until 10, and then the Glenn Beck program, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton's biggest show in all of conservative media, and then the local afternoon show with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Which, as a matter of fact,
holy cow!
Yeah, that's what I had the same thought when I read that the Kimmer show is going to be at Shuck and Shack on Wednesday. From I have those outbursts too, Kimmer. Thank you. From 3 till 6. That's 415 Peachtree Parkway. Not far from you, Los. Not far from me either.
No, not at all. I mean, this might have to be a show field trip if considering, again, I'm busy, but I don't know if I'm too busy when it comes to Kimmer.
No.
What does that even mean?
Well,
it just means that we got to figure it out.
Yes, that's all. It's what it means. Goodness gracious, Kimmer. It's like he just jumps into the conversation like having not participated in any of it before.
You missed that when you were on the beach thinking about like the random Kimmer drops that punctuate your day.
Yes, absolutely. Some steamed seafood, hot wings, Sammy's, cold drinks, and it's locally owned and operated there at Shuck and Shack. Oyster Bar in Cumming, which is a great spot. I love that place.
That kind of food sounds like it's good enough for an oh my God.
Yeah, oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
No,
there it is.
Oh my God. And let me tell you, I just came back from the beach and had some great seafood. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. That's the way I felt about it too. It was fantastic. We got some old fresh down there at the market and
nice.
Had them cook it up and took it back over to the house. It was great. But so coming back, I was reading this story. I was looking for stories about Georgia football just to read last night, just to dip my toe into the college sports world. listen and read about my favorite team, and I read this story that there was a UGA student that was sexually assaulted by a homeless man a week after Athens Clarke County voted down an ordinance to address homelessness. Got it. So this happens, and it's like libs are just fine with it. The people who always say, no, we got to make the homeless feel safe. What about the college students? How about do we not want to make them feel safe? I mean, where's the line here? And it seems like it's definitely been crossed at this. This lady woke up after a night of drinking and going out, according to Fox 5 Atlanta. She lost track of time, maybe had 2 months to drink. And look, is that a good idea? No, it's not. But she shouldn't have to worry about someone, and I'm just not going to discuss all the details. And it's in the story. If you want to see it, all you have to do is a quick Google search. You'll find it. It's pretty alarming and pretty disturbing, the things that happened. And but you got to protect these 20-year-old students. You have to. These are the same kind of academic people, Los, that don't want to protect young women in their own bathrooms or in their locker rooms.
Tug, I tend to believe that a lot of this comes back to just this vision of what it means to be who you are. And life to you and I is sacred, and it's important, and it's worth protecting. Whereas you do have a version of people, and some of them sit in our justice system now. Some of them advocate for this stuff that, well, you're just another one of the ants. And you know what? Every now and then, sometimes an ant gets stepped on. And that's kind of how they go about it. We recognize that one of these situations is one too many. Whereas the other side views it as, well, that's just going to happen.
It's once in a while.
Right.
It's just every now and then. And if you happen to be the one that draws the short straw, sorry. But we got to make
too
sure.
bad.
Yeah.
Ooh. But if we deal with this problem, well, then that means we could possibly have to actually visit justice on people.
No.
And that's just mean.
No, we could never do that. I mean, it goes along. It's crazy because another story that kept popping up yesterday as I was kind of getting back into things after being at the beach and not picking up my phone at all. Y'all, I mean, I literally didn't pick up my phone at all. And I'd heard about the Lindsay Clancy story out of Massachusetts. And to see those crazy women rallying around a woman that strangled her children, and the craziness that is on the internet, that is on social media, of the conspiracy theories. It's just nuts. And these stories, I know they seem like they're totally different, but they're not. It's the same type of people that are supportive of both.
Well, and this is the point I made on yesterday's show. This is when you were sad packing to come back from the beach.
And I was.
You're throwing your panties into your bag, and you're like, I got to go back.
These Lacey's are going to be lonely in this bag.
They're not going to be able to see the light of day for a while.
That's right.
I made this point, and it does. I admit it doesn't do any good to point this sort of thing out to the left. I just think it's something that when you talk to regular people that are kind of in the middle or on our side, it's just something to remind them of. The same defense that the Clancy defense team is using, that having given her all those hormones and everything else to deal with her issue is what made her crazy, is the same thing that these people advocate for to do to your 12, 13, and 14-year-old child.
Yep. And they see that with her that it was this terrible, it's bad, the drugs caused it. And then with your kid who has gotten themselves sideways in what they believe and what they think about themselves, and is gender dysphoria real? Yes, it is. But do most kids grow out of it? Yes, they do. Except for now, we don't want them to grow out of it. We want to fix it with these drugs, and it's good.
Well, Tug, big picture, just to think that the argument that women are currently having and that they're standing on the street corner and yelling at the top of their lungs, these for the most part, white liberal Karens, that's what it is.
Yep.
These women are advocating that she is innocent based on the drugs she was given, the scenario she was dealing with. But yet, if a person on the same stuff shoots up a school at 13 or 14 because they used a gun, oh my God, I can't believe they did that.
Yes. No, I'm telling you, dude, there's no logic. There's no sense in any of the things they do. And going back to the city council over in Athens, Clark County, and I love getting over to Athens as much as anybody and watching some college football, college basketball, college baseball. These people choose to allow this to happen. To the original point you made, dude, they choose to allow this to happen. And just a week before, they said, hey, maybe we should do something about this homeless thing. Nah, we're good. Everything's good. Nah,
everything's fine.
Everything's fine here. Have we had any problems? No. Week later, you have a major, major problem. And they need to be held accountable somehow or other. I don't expect that they will, but they need to. Because if you're not, you'll continue to do these stupid things. And when people suffer for them, you'll be like, well, nothing to do else here. We're good. Washing my hands of it.
We're not allowed to bring this up on a regular basis because, it's a faux pas. You're not allowed to say this. The homeless in many of these cities, especially liberal-run cities, Democrat-run cities, they're an industry unto themselves.
Oh, that's right.
They make people money. That's why California spent $24 billion for a program that keeps getting bigger. It makes people money.
Yep. That's exactly right. 100%. You wouldn't think that donating to, homeless shelters and trying to have NGOs or somebody like that take care of. Oh, yeah. That's where the industry begins right there. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. The president gets a big win on mail-in ballots. Next on Extra.
Need more than just headlines on your ride to work? It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org. Helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. You don't really need a different house. How about you maybe just a better version of the one you already have? That's why I trust my friend Jeff Shea at Peach State Windows. Right now, get 8 premium double-hung vinyl replacement windows installed for just $3,995. 8 windows installed for under $4,000. Plus a lifetime warranty and 0% financing for 12 months. PeachStateWindows.com. PeachStateWindows.com. Peach State Windows. It's modern performance for the home you already love.
This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Locally owned and heard throughout Georgia on the Extra app.
Oil markets are reacting this morning. CJ Pup of Fox News. The price for a barrel of oil dropping fast after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent unleashes a fresh set of penalties on Iran.
The actions of Treasury and other agencies will tighten the noose and block every potential source of revenue that funds the IRGC and the evil Iranian regime.
Fox's Troy Yanks in Tel Aviv.
Among the new sanctions includes an expanded list of secondary sanctions targeting digital assets, technology, gold, aviation, and shipping. In addition, the Treasury Department sanctioned nearly 60 entities, individuals, and vessels in multiple jurisdictions. The actions go after what the department describes as a network of shadow fleet vessels operating across many different countries. Iranian officials threatened retaliation to the economic measures. Another tanker was struck in the Strait of Hormuz with an unknown projectile while transiting the U.S.-approved southern route. The vessel had damage caused to its engine room and was disabled.
Well, Canada will announce retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. today after relations deteriorated sharply Monday. President Trump told Canadian leaders to fall in line or face consequences far worse than existing tariffs. It could be a matter of hours before the jury in Massachusetts begins to deliberate the fate of Lindsay Clancy.
At one point, he also brought up Clancy's Catholic faith, at which point the defense asked for a mistrial, but the judge said no. Clancy faces 3 counts of first-degree murder and the possibility of life in prison without parole, but if the jury finds her criminally not responsible, she'll be committed to a state mental hospital. In the 4 months leading up to the children's deaths, Clancy received 32 prescriptions and 13 psychiatric drugs. Now, there is expected to be one more rebuttal witness from the prosecution.
That is Fox's Nate Foy reporting from Plymouth, Massachusetts this morning. America is listening to Fox News.
When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most. A, that it works, and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our audience do that. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I want you to hear a few of their stories. Doug took Relief Factor for nearly a year before convincing his wife, a special needs teacher, to try it. She had been using assistance just to move through the long hallways at school. Now she's back on her feet every day and never had to leave the job that she loves. I remember when buttoning my shirt was almost impossible, but Relief Factor changed how I'm able to do it and the simple things again. And they make it really easy now for you to find out if you can be the next person that's telling us about Relief Factor and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks, $17.76. Try it. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with their friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us as well. ReliefFactor.com.
Does your friend listen to an old station whose news gives them the blues? Set your friend right. Tell him to download the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Gonna turn it up for some Tim McGraw. Get you started on this Tuesday morning.
Spent $48 last night at the county fair.
And
I didn't miss this.
Dude, it's so great because he talks about the Braves in this song, if you know. Ain't missed the Braves play a game, or ain't seen the Braves play a game all year. Oh, here he goes. Turn it up, right here.
I ain't seen the Braves play a game all year.
You've been chasing that girl around, missing his Braves game. You can't do that. You got to get your priorities in order, Tim McGraw. Good Lord. I didn't miss a Braves game. I was at the beach.
That's right.
I didn't miss a Braves game.
You in Floribama found a way.
That's right, dude. Where there's a will, there is a way. You can get it done. It's funny because Tim McGraw, not a Braves fan. His, if you know, his daddy was Tug McGraw, pitched for the Mets and the Phillies, and they did not have a good relationship growing up.
Daddy,
yeah, daddy. It was not good. It wasn't until much later in his life he'd already kind of started his music career before they had a relationship. But he did get to go to the final. There was I want to say it was in Colorado. An all-star game that his daddy was a part of or was welcome to. Daddy, can I come with you, Daddy? And that was like this wonderful experience for him. So even though he says whoever wrote the song was singing about the Braves, he is not a Braves fan. Daddy, can I go with you to that game?
His daddy really did go for cigarettes and didn't come back for a while.
That's the God's honest truth. And it was crazy because he had no idea that Daddy was his daddy. And one time, there's a story that Tim tells that one time his mama wrote Daddy a letter and just said, hey, I would like to come and bring little Timmy to a game. And he left them tickets at will call, but would not have anything to do with it. Tim McGraw wouldn't go over and say nothing. And it wasn't until later in life that they developed that relationship. It was a crazy story.
That's how I'm going to do it in the future.
You should. I think it's worked real well. Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
It doesn't cause any long-term damage.
It's a good plan to follow. You should definitely try that. No, Lo's exactly opposite, man. He's at every one of his daughter's games. His wife and he divide and conquer when there's one high school game, one middle school game. He's doing exactly opposite of Tug McGraw, which is the true way to go. But it is funny that story worked out the way it did.
Can I bring up a shopping scenario as we get into the 7 o'clock hour?
Only if Daddy's involved.
All right, here's one for you, and I gotta ask Tug Cowart what would Tug do?
Okay,
because Tug is a saver. I'm a saver. It's part of what we do.
Very much so.
All right, so my wife had made the point that we needed another.
We're good. We're all set.
Okay, I agree on this one right now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I love it, actually. so that reaction works well in my home. I tell you, no is very powerful.
Yeah, it is. It's a good word.
So we decided we needed another Amazon Fire Stick because we're doing the basement, we got to hook up another TV, and that's just kind of what we got to do.
Sure.
So I ordered it yesterday on Amazon.com. Now, I didn't know, but the prices have moved up as the technology's gotten better. They're not, $25, $29.99 anymore. They're now $39.99.
Okay.
Dude, this morning I get the Amazon alerts email on my phone that the Fire Stick HD is on sale. No longer $39.99, which is what I paid for it yesterday, Tug.
Yeah.
It's now $17.99.
Oh, dude, you got to return the one and then get the new one. Yeah, that's a done deal. Man, you just save yourself, $20.
Okay, thank you. Because I was willing to go take it back.
Yeah.
And I decided during the break, I was like, I'm going to bite the bullet. I'm going to do it. It turns out that because I purchased it through Amazon and they have a sale, they refunded me back the difference.
Let's go!
So that part was cool, but I was staring at it going, is it worth the trip?
Yes, it is.
And I decided, hell yes, it's worth the trip. I can't believe I bought this thing yesterday for basically $20 more.
Dude, that would have been infuriating. But hang on.
I'm just bothered. I was sitting here bothered.
Yes, you should have been. I would have been too. So, you handled that the exact right way. And
Thank you.
Actually, give credit to Amazon for handling it the right way.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that.
I was impressed. I went, you're just going to send me the difference back to my credit card? Okay, thank you.
I love it. Did you have to initiate that or did they automatically do it?
No, I had to initiate that. Had I not noticed it, they would have had their $39.99, which would have been fine had I not noticed the sale.
Yeah. And then, so in that initiate, do you just email them or do you just start the return? And
you just start the return and it basically tells you, you're wanting to return our item because, as I put it, I changed my mind.
Yeah.
And it designated, well, what'd you change it on? I was like, found a better price. Who'd you find it through? You guys. And that's where they then, we'll fix it.
Yes, absolutely, dude. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm all about that for sure. Count me in for all that.
My Fire Stick runs slow.
Well, it might be time to do one.
$17.99, brother. Today's the day.
I might have to get a new one.
Yeah, dude, it's most likely time if it's running slow.
See, the issue is all my logins are already on it, and I forgot some of the passwords.
But those
they transfer.
They should be.
Really?
Yeah, it's
yes.
just
like they're all tied to your Amazon account. They all transfer.
Yeah.
So just get another stick. $17.99. Today's the day.
Yeah, it's like Google Chrome. You know how you open it up anywhere, and it's all anytime you log in on your Amazon, it's there. Yeah, you're good to go. Man,
Tug, I got to send you a picture of the babies coming together.
Oh.
Yes.
Well,
so
what baby you referred to?
All right. So while you were gone,
what kind of pictures you sent it, Los?
That's right. You're just got to deal with this. So while you were gone, my wife had her plan was that we weren't going to do built-ins in like our TV basement viewing area. Instead, we decided to order these entertainment system cabinets. Now, she ordered 6 of them.
Okay.
They took now on the instructions it says it takes an hour and a half to put them together. It took at least an hour, maybe an hour 10.
Okay, well they look great.
It was tedious. So that means I was at that for about 7 hours on Saturday.
Okay.
Which was extremely tiring.
Yeah.
And actually Sunday I was completely worn out. But the picture I just sent you to the phone.
Yep.
that is where, if you'll notice, there's a TV on the left. There's now a TV in the middle on the wall.
Yep.
There's another one that needs to go to the right side.
Absolutely.
That's why the stick is coming.
No, that's perfect. And smaller TV, the big TV gets the big game, whatever, and then the secondary games on the left and right, muted, of course. That way
as to not to interfere with the viewing pleasure.
Absolutely.
However, though, that's a remote you have to keep handy.
You do just in case a big play happens. You'd be like, oh, whoop, mute. And go to the secondary TV. Like if there's some fumble review, it's going to change the outcome of the game. We must know what's going on there. Dude, isn't it crazy? We turn into the liberal white women, just crazy about football. It's the one thing that makes us actually go crazy.
I haven't played Prize Picks since the NBA Finals. That was in June.
But you be Jones.
So I'm ready. Like I'm football ready. Let's put some plays down.
Yeah, he need to hit like a crackhead.
Let's go.
That's another as Bryce laughs at that one. That one's not mine. That's also a Chris Rock. They talks to the fishes. Morning Xtra at Extra 106.3. The first thing to know this morning is Donald Trump gets a win in the mail.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high. Man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
Donald Trump is your daddy.
Well,
if you're telling people it that way, some of them don't handle it well. But no, he is the president, and for some of the people out there, he is their daddy. And daddy has another victory. In fact, a multitude of victories yesterday. But let's talk about the most important one that will have an influence in the midterm elections. President Trump, through executive order several months ago, had basically ruled that when it came to mail-in ballots, there was going to be restrictions on them. Those that were processed by the United States Postal Service. And so in those, they would have to have a unique barcode and tracking to go along with it. Of course, the left, because voter rolls, hey, dead people, got to have it.
Yeah, that's right.
Mail-in balloting, got to have it. In this case, Donald Trump had made the point that if you're going to use the services of the United States Postal Service, these are the conditions by which you're going to with your ballot. And even though a lower court had tried to block it, you now have the U.S. Supreme Court that has said, no, that is under the purview of the President of the United States. Even though it's not directly in his power line, the executive branch does run the United States Postal Service, who runs the executive branch. That is where he got a win on this. This is going to affect the midterms, that the mail-in ballots will at least be restricted to a certain extent.
As they should be. We should know who's sending in mail-in ballots. I mean, this is the no-brainer. This is so easy. Anybody that doesn't want to cheat, doesn't have some sort of incentive to cheat, is going to say, well, yeah, we should know where the ballots are coming from, if they come from actual voters or a dead person or an illegal. And I know the flip of this is that the Democrats are screaming, well, they're going to use this to deport people. That's just a secondary bonus.
Oh, okay. Well, let me rub my hands together.
Exactly. Stop teasing me with all this fun.
I love that. But part of this process, and this is where Tug is laying out the groundwork for you. He's 100% right on this. The scenario now is that by this court ruling, if you want to be on and have a mail-in ballot for this federal election, the Department of Homeland Security and the SSA both have to create an approved voter list. That is where the United States Postal Service will then send the ballot to. So you are now having, if you want, and we always talk about this, if you want to vote by mail, absentee, we talk about seniors, elderly, people serving in the military, people away at college, just like in the past. Because I remember having to do it in 2004.
Yeah.
You got to put in the request.
Yeah.
And then that request has to be approved, and you're sent an absentee ballot.
Yeah, same with my youngin'. He did get his absentee ballot, but it was never. He mailed it. It was never received. It was never counted. So there's clearly things that have gone wrong with mail-in balloting and actual ballots not being counted, and then get ballots for dead people and people that shouldn't be voting getting counted. It's amazing how that works. It's so surprising that it would work out that way. Always in the Democrat favor when it works out.
And as you pointed out, Tug, if I'm sending in for my absentee ballot and I just if I'm foolish enough to do it, and I'm here illegally, well, then maybe there's a possibility of that. Sir,
yeah,
you're coming with us.
Yeah, buddy. I noticed that your visa has expired, and you're trying to vote in an election that you're not supposed to, too. And this is a kill two birds with one stone, which is why the communist left is going to go crazy about it, because that's their voting base. They've given up working people. They've given up minorities. They've given up anything that is seemingly a normal American voter base for illegals and Islamists. I mean, they've got a weird network of people, Los.
Yeah, it's a strange coalition that they've tied together. And at this point, when we talk about, hey, here is the this coalition of people that right now are coming together in the interest of power, yet they'll tear each other apart.
Yep.
As soon as they get it. I wonder, because now we're starting to see some of this stuff where people are starting to question one another. At least with the Sunday shows the past couple of weeks, it seems like the news media has made it a point to turn on the DSA. You have the media now actually pointing at the rise of Islam and going, hey, I think you got a problem over here.
Yeah.
And yet the Democrats, the establishment, are trying to keep all of this together while at the same time trying to distance from it.
I know. That's so great, and we'll get to it in a little bit. The crazy story about a man running for Senate in Michigan that said, hey, look, Twitch streamers don't speak for me.
Now.
Now, all of a sudden, y'all were just the weekend before at a productive meeting, as you described it. Now, all of a sudden, the Twitch streamer don't speak for you.
And now the only one that I think we can count up, and we saw this when it came, to pass yesterday in Minnesota, where Minnesota was looking to clean up their voter rolls. And the Democrats are like, no, you don't understand. We need dead people.
That's right. No, we have to have them.
I was like, the Islamists, the DSA, the establishment Democrats, they're all like, no. Dead people matter.
Yes, that's exactly right.
It's a one unifying message right now. Mail-in ballots, dead people matter.
That's right. And this would be a perfect time for them to demand voter IDs and paper ballots and things. Make sure things are on the up and up. This is good. I mean, this would be a way to prevent Donald Trump from cheating. If I'm a Democrat, I would demand ID, voter ID, and paper ballots today.
Isn't it interesting that when you structure the argument in that way, Tug, that you can get someone to jump from one foot to the next?
Yeah.
If you tell them, listen, Donald Trump's planning on cheating. We need paper ballots. We need photo ID. We need to make sure that people say who they are. And people are like, yes, we do.
Yes,
you're right.
We need it right away. Let's get it done today.
And then they find out and they're like, wait. Oh, hold on.
What?
Hold on a second.
That's not at all what I meant. I mean, what? Yeah, it's crazy the way it works out, man. It should be. This should be a no discussion issue. If you wanted American elections to be on the up and up, you'd say, well, of course you got to know where ballots are coming from. Of course you need to know who people are. You need a photo ID. All of that is so easy. And I bet if you go out in the Battery today and ask 10 people, hey, do you think it's important to know who's voting in our elections? 9 out of 10, there'll be one knucklehead. 9 out of 10 will be like, well, yeah, of course. You got to do that. You got to make sure. I mean, if you don't know who's voting, how would you know that the vote is right or can be reconciled? Exactly. Exactly.
I want to highlight this for the audience. So we can go back to 2024. And if you look at the presidential election between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump in the state of California, Harris won that 58-38. Okay? More than basically 3 million votes went her direction. And then you ask the question, well, why are people in Minnesota? Why are the Democrats making a point that we need to keep dead people on their rolls? Well, because Harris only won that state by 150,000. Okay? It came down to basically 3% of the vote. It's a lot tighter than you would think. In comparison to because, again, we look at crazy and we're like, California's crazy, Minnesota's crazy, New York is crazy. Well, Minnesota actually is not, from a voting perspective, as crazy as these other places, even though it's been traditionally pretty liberal.
Yeah.
But because they don't win by a significant amount, that's why they have voters that are dead. That's why they have illegals that are voting. That is why they fight all these liberal fights, because it matters to them to stay in power. But they already defrauded us, what, $8 billion?
Dude, that's just what we know about.
That's just what we know about.
That's what we're certain of. And in California, so mad about it, they're passing laws.
But ponder that. 3 million votes in California in the 2024 election, 150,000 in Minnesota.
Goodness. Yeah, that's why dead people matter. As you said, that's why keeping voting wide open like the Wild Wild West matters to them, because they have to have it. There's no other way they're winning without cheating. Morning Extra at Extra 106.3, a story for the wackadoos that show up at, say, a congressional town hall to holler about, let's say, defense spending. That'll ring a bell with Los, and we'll explain it to you next.
Every day, the border is a bigger story than the day before. And every day, we inch closer to opening it back up. That is, if we don't act. Extra 106.3 covers it without the spin, because this isn't a debate, it's a policy with consequences. Listen live or stream us anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now through August 31st at Marietta Toyota. Commuting every day? Well, the 2026 Toyota Camry is now all hybrid with up to, get this, 53 miles per gallon city driving, an easy way to cut fuel stops without giving up comfort. And right now, Camry is the smart move for drivers who want Toyota reliability, everyday comfort, and better fuel efficiency for the road ahead. Every new Toyota includes our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, limited time, and unlimited mileage for as long as you own it. We'll go to Best of Cobb for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on a new 2026 Camry Hybrid as low as 4.99% APR, 48 months, now through August 31st. Visit us on Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota, since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 48 months with approved credit through SCTF. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/31/26. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title, and include $699 dock fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
Now on to the bonus round. On average, what's the biggest purchase you'll make in your lifetime?
My house.
My car? Nope. Jane?
My husband's golf habit.
Close, but no. Think bigger. It's your retirement. Think of all the effort and research you put into buying a car or your home. And while these are important purchases, the cost doesn't come close to a 25-year retirement. You're literally buying a lifestyle. So what kind of lifestyle do you want? Evan Ward and his team at Atlas Retirement help clients plan for retirement based on their individual goals. Whether it's an Alaskan cruise or taking the grandkids out for snow cones, a trip to Europe, or a trip across town, the team at Atlas Retirement can tailor your retirement to the lifestyle you've always wanted. Call 678-252-5224 or atlasretirement.net.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
Gentlemen, listen up. When it's not hard, it's really hard. Did you know that 50% of men over 50 have some form of ED? It's true, and I'm one of them. ED followed me everywhere. Heck, even my initials are ED. I'm Dr. Eric Deal from Total Body Therapy of Georgia, and I know ED. It can lead to feelings of embarrassment, stress, and sadness. But there's good news. I can fix it. I fixed mine, and I can fix yours too. At Total Body Therapy of Georgia, we are experts in the P-shot, testosterone replacement, regenerative therapy, Trimix to create an erection, and more. Guys, ED won't get better on its own, but I can help you today. Call us at 404-777-1911. That's 404-777-1911, or learn about us more online at tbtofga.com. So take it from me, ED, Dr. Eric Deal at Total Body Therapy of Georgia. Call 404-777-1911 or online at tbtofga.com.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House, and now the thought of the day. There's only a few things that a safe from the Safe House can't protect you from. The biggest one is socialist Democrats trying to steal elections. Does that really happen? Yes, it does. So for real security, drop by the Safe House and let us show you how to protect your hard-earned valuables from theft and fire. We are the exclusive Browning and Fort Knox safe dealer in the area. That's right, we're the only ones. So don't go unprotected. Go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com. That's AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, August 25th, and here are your headlines. The U.S. and Canada are heading toward an even bigger trade fight as Canada is expected to announce retaliatory tariffs after President Trump warned Canadian leaders to fall in line or face consequences far worse. Trump says tariffs on Canadian vehicles, steel, and other imports could rise to 50%, while Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says Ottawa won't accept being treated as a subsidiary of the United States. NASA is putting $10 million into Georgia Tech to help fill the aerospace industry's skilled labor gap. The program will train workers for jobs including welding, machining, and artificial intelligence rather than focusing solely on traditional aerospace careers. Officials say Georgia's already home to nearly 800,000 aerospace jobs. And finally, Georgia's governor's race is getting more personal and continuing to heat up as Democrat Keisha Lance Bottoms confronted Republican Rick Jackson at an event and asked him to keep her family out of his campaign ads. Jackson's campaign has been targeting Bottoms over a taxpayer-funded plane ticket for her husband to attend the Super Bowl while she was Atlanta mayor, while Jackson is touting endorsements from 104 Georgia sheriffs. Expect more sunshine today with a high of 92 and a low of 71 across the metro area. With your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
If you're looking to send your kid to a school where they don't just raise mortal hell, the University of Georgia sits at number 4 on the biggest party schools list, according to U.S. News and World Report. Tulane is number 1 this year. So, yeah, I mean, you know.
Arizona State number 2?
Let me go back and look at it real quick, make sure I'm telling you correctly.
Tulane, you're right in the heart of New Orleans.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be hard not to raise hell. Let's see, Tulane 1, Alabama 2, Florida State 3, Georgia 4. Who did you ask about?
Arizona State. I'm shocked they're not top 5.
Okay, well, no, Wisconsin number 5. I just know when you go to college, you're probably not going to party. You're not going to want to have a really good time or any of those things. So parents, pay no mind to that list. Children, if you're getting ready to head off to college, you might want to check it out.
Tug, if I may, I was just scanning through YouTube, and of course our extra channel is up.
What's up, extras?
And yes, hello, extras. I just wanted to let you know that you look straight out of the movie Soul Man.
I do?
It's unreal. I love his outfit today. It's so good. I saw him walking in the garage whenever I pulled in, and I was like, is that Tug?
And maybe it's the lighting, but on YouTube right now, do you know the movie Soul Man from the 80s?
I don't even think I've ever heard of it. 1987. I mean, I've looked it up now because I searched it.
Take a look at it and read the premise.
Okay.
For the audience, for anyone who doesn't know the movie Soul Man.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, wow. Soul Man, 1986 comedy film directed by Steve Miner, written by Carol L. Black, stars a white male law student pretends to be black in order to qualify for scholarship. The title refers to the song sung by Isaac Hayes and David Porter from the soundtrack, performed by Sam Moore and Lou Reed. So, wow.
You did get a lot of sun.
I did. No, I did, dude. I did. I'm telling you, I was out there.
Tug is the soul man.
I'm a soul man. Come on. No, it's the truth. But it's funny that you knew it too, Bryce? You knew?
Oh, no, I didn't know Soul Man. I just liked the outfit.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were like...
You're looking jazzy. You're looking snazzy.
Okay, well, thank you.
Oh, and by the way, another one of those movies, and decently funny.
Okay.
No way you could make that today.
No, definitely not. No. Mm-mm.
If you just see the images, like if you Google image Soul Man 1986.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, which I did. That's the first...
You're going to go, oh, yeah, I imagine that's not happening.
Yeah, definitely not. And then
the picture, by the way, of C. Thomas Howell next to Ray Don Chong.
Okay, let me see if I can find
when they're sitting in the classroom.
Okay.
Is hilarious because C. Thomas Howell has like the worst mini fro. He looks like a white guy that has on a mini fro and just a weird face paint.
Yeah, no, that's right. Absolutely. Holy cow. Yeah, that movie would never, ever, 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 ever. Just from some of the pictures, it would never be made again, and it's not even close. Goodness. Who else is in this movie?
Radon Chong. The greatness of Commando. By the way, in Rotten Tomatoes, 17%.
Oof.
From the critics, 35% from the audience. It's not good.
It's bad either way. So it probably shouldn't be made again, just because it probably sucks. All right, well, look, it's Soul Man and Los.
Los, you didn't see what he just did. He just sat up straight, adjusted the jacket, kind of flipped it forward.
The Soul Man.
That's right.
Tug's got like a week of just like this wonderful tan. He's like, I am so brown right now.
Dude, I am tan like crazy, boy, looking good.
We were wondering, we were having this discussion yesterday, would you tan or would you just turn into a lobster?
I do turn red, but it does eventually tan up a little bit, yeah. But I use really light SPF so I can get some sun.
SPF 5?
Yeah, 4 if I can get it. But yeah, because I want to get a little bit of sun, you know?
What do you think about that discussion point that because we are not getting enough sun exposure that we're causing long-term health issues and it's tied to sunscreen? I don't know. I just know that I go out later in the day. Like 4 o'clock and after is when we tend to try and get out there, and I won't use sunscreen at that point.
Okay, yeah, no, because I never reapply after about 1 or 2, sometimes 3, whatever. I won't reapply even if I've been in the water because I want to get. I think getting some sun is good. Now we get out there at like 10.
Okay, in that case, I am going to apply and probably reapply.
Yeah, you have.
I don't want to be miserable.
No, that's right, because otherwise you'd be as red as my Brooks and Dunn book bag. You know, because I'm telling you, dude.
And it's drunk.
Yeah, well, but you have to work hard. I'm telling you, man. I don't want to say I threw up, but I might have once.
Yes.
That is absolutely how you should spend your vacation.
It was on the 3rd day. Now,
I don't know why I'm so tickled by that, but I am.
I'm not incredibly proud of it. People are like, because what happened? Here's what happened.
I have nothing to hide.
No, I don't. I'm an open book. That's the thing. Sometimes I am a little too open, maybe. But no, that 3rd day we got down there, we had a late breakfast. So we get down there, say, right at noon, and we had eaten breakfast at 11 or 10. Let's say it was 10. But I wasn't hungry. You know, you're putting some drinks back. You're feeling full because your belly is full, just full of rum and Coke. But so I didn't eat lunch that day. And then we get back to the house, and you're like, well, we're back at the house now. Let's have a couple more. And then by about 9 o'clock, I still hadn't eaten because we had a late, and then the stomach was like, dude, you need to evacuate. You got run outside and right over the rail. And that's
wonderful.
That's exactly what happened, dude. I didn't eat. I just forgot. We were having such a good time. It was a great day. We played some bocce ball. I'd never played bocce ball before. That's the most fun game ever. You just try to get one ball next to another one. It's the most simple game. And my buddy Greg said, you know why I love this game? Not because of the scoring, not because of the ease, but because you can hold your drink in one hand and still play the game.
Oh, that is the game. Left hand drink, right hand flip.
Yes. I was like, Greg, that's genius. That's an absolute genius thing to say. It's kind of like cornhole. You can do that with cornhole too. So more games like that, please. Let's create more.
If I may point this out as well.
Definitely.
Know that you consumed all those calories and then you got them up.
Yes. The next morning, I didn't have a hangover at all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Kind of suggest maybe you should do it more often.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't want to get to that point of throwing up, but I did.
Bulimic Tug.
Hey, look, I can
40-year-old bulimic Tug.
That's right. What I'm going to do.
I just can't keep anything down.
That's right. What I'm going to do is drink till I throw up and not eat. It's great. Which some people would probably call in and say, look, man, you may have a problem.
Check out these abs.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, nobody's going to mistake that.
I haven't consumed any bread in months.
And refuse. I will not start back either. Oh, it's crazy, dude. Yeah, but it only happened once, and it was brief and quick, and I went on to bed while everybody else had dinner.
At least you got it out of the way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was good. But it really happened. Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3. We don't have to do an official flashback, but I'm just going to flash back just for a second because Los and I were privileged enough to moderate U.S. Representative Dr. Rich McCormick, his town hall over in Alpharetta. This was June 30th, if I'm not mistaken. And we had, and Los can attest to this, we had a couple of wackadoos sitting in the front row to the left, and they couldn't wait to talk about defense spending. That's all they cared about. That's what they wanted to focus in on, Los. Am I not right about that?
Their argument, and I believe the woman who was one of the primary ones who here's the deal. If you want to raise your hand and you want to bring up what you want to bring up, she just wouldn't shut up throughout the entire presentation, including telling everyone that defense spending was the largest amount of spending of the federal budget.
Which is not correct. And that number is actually at 47% of the U.S. federal budget for fiscal year 2025. 47% of that budget is some form of welfare. 8% of fiscal year 2025 was on defense. So when I read this, that's all I could think of was that wackadoo lady and her husband sitting in the front row. We're spending on defense, all we do. You know, they were just, like Los was saying, just hollering.
The argument that is made often by the left, but then it's parroted by the left, is that, well, if you get rid of, and what they consider it is your Medicare, your Medicaid, your welfare spending, all of that stuff that basically what it comes down to, I think the number, the last time we had talked with some of the congressmen, that now makes up a total of 81%. And again, I could be off by a percentage here or there, about 81% of their spending. And so they're only arguing over 19 to 20%.
Total, what's left over?
Total is what is left over. The expenditures we have on these social programs overwhelmingly fill the federal budget. But what they'll argue is, well, within that last 19, 20%, look what defense takes up. Like, it's not even close to the rest of the spending.
Well, and it's funny you bring it up because that 8% is doubled if you talk about education. What do we spend on education? And I'm not saying we shouldn't spend on education. I'm just saying for what we get, for the education that our kids are getting in the United States of America, K through 12, it's at 15%. And nobody can tell me right now that the education system looks real good. Like the results aren't real good. Mississippi is finally starting to turn the ship around and outdoing California and outdoing New York and spend much less than those other two states. But 15% of our budget total is K through 12 education. And somebody needs to, I don't know, corral that, reel that in, and make sure that the people that are there teaching our kids are actually teaching them instead of indoctrinating them. I don't know if you saw what happened over in South Carolina, over in Charleston. There was a DSA group that said, we'll babysit your kids. We're going to come in and we're going to babysit. And what it was really about, they had a full on webinar about it. What we really want to do, we want to indoctrinate these kids at an earlier age. That way we have comrades later in life. We want to get to them earlier and earlier. You don't think that those same people are teaching in some schools? Because I believe they are. It's just nuts to me that we spend that kind of money. And Los is so right. Many congressmen have told us. It's only a small amount that we can do anything about unless we start reeling in some of this welfare. If I'm not mistaken, Los, the Roman Empire, it was the downfall. Welfare was the downfall of the Roman Empire.
Interestingly enough, that along with the fact that they had a large amount of people that were suddenly not even Roman citizens, but they brought in so many people from the lands they conquered that what was it to be Roman? That's kind of faded away.
Yeah, which that sounds crazy similar.
Kind of familiar.
Yeah,
huh?
Sounds like what we're doing and talking about these days. But those wackadoos, they wouldn't hear it. They won't hear it. It won't matter that the numbers are in their face, that it's 47% of the budget that is some form of welfare, and only 8% is on defense. I hope maybe one day that they'll pay attention, but I know they won't. And that way we wanted to make sure that you knew, you listening now.
Is that not the perfect example? Like you brought up, as we've gotten into this segment, you brought up indoctrination. That woman who sat in front of us at that town hall was the epitome of indoctrination. She was saying something that was flat out incorrect. And here's how strong the indoctrination was, Tug, and you saw it too. She was arguing with a congressman who's his job to know.
Yeah, and he did. That's the one thing you ain't getting Dr. McCormick on. You ain't going to get him. Yeah,
he's going to explain where the money's going.
That's exactly right. That dude, it dots the I's and crosses the T's when it comes to spending. And he had all the numbers. And it wasn't like he was flipping through a book. He knew the numbers off the top of his head. Anytime anybody addressed some sort of spending, he would be like, well, actually, it's this. And he always shut down the argument because they didn't have the proper numbers.
It was just surprising because in my mind, I'm going back to even the discussions we've had with Buddy Carter. And Buddy was probably the first person, congressman out of Georgia, who told us within the party that 80%, now about 81% of our total federal spending, we are not allowed to talk about that. We were able to talk about the other 20%.
He was really forthcoming about that.
Yes.
I was surprised. I mean, pleasantly surprised.
It was as he put it, and I believe it, it's a recipe for getting beat. When you start talking about overhauling Social Security or reducing Medicare, Medicaid, or changing that system or restructuring portions of welfare. I mean, think about it. You put in volunteer requirements in order to get money. And what was it? You had to volunteer for like 40 hours a month. And the left went nuts.
They lost their minds.
Work requirements, searching for a job. That was popular under Bill Clinton. He's the one in that administration that got that going. When the Trump administration brought it back up, the left went nuts. And so when Buddy Carter told us, hey, that 80%, we're not able to really get into it. We have to discuss the other 20%. And that woman was so indoctrinated in front of Dr. Rich McCormick, she actually was arguing with him about the smaller pie and that defense spending took up the most of the smaller pie.
And now you know. Knowing is half the battle.
There you go, GI.
Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3 when we come back. From woke to political violence, surely there isn't a direct link between the two. We'll explain. We'll talk about it. We'll discuss it. Point it all out. Next on Xtra.
It's Los. Let's talk about Echo and their one-day sale over at Howard Brothers. Big news. The Echo one-day sale is heading to Howard Brothers once again. It's coming up next month. Mark this on your calendar, especially when it comes to planning on purchasing your next piece of Echo power equipment. Wednesday, September 16th. Visit your local Howard Brothers for fantastic deals on Echo power equipment. Now, that's not just the mowers. We're talking about the chainsaws, the blowers, the trimmers, and more. Whether you're a pro or maybe you're like me, maybe you're a weekend warrior when it comes to getting after that yard. Echo Tools will help you get the job done right. Mark down your calendar. Any one of these 7 Howard Brothers locations, Wednesday, September 16th, the Echo one-day sale. 1 day of big savings you don't want to miss.
Xtra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, August 25th. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand at Truist Park tonight with a visit from the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound for the Braves this evening. He'll be opposed by Tyler Glasnow. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From college football, the Southeastern Conference issued a statement last night in belief that athletes who leave college and sign professional contracts should not be permitted to be part of collegiate athletics once again, saying, quote, college athletes, not former professional athletes, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Individuals who choose to leave college athletics, sign professional playing contracts, and compete professionally should not be then permitted to return to college competition. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
There's never been a better time to fall in love with Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett. Now through August 31st, get award-winning vehicles and exceptional offers from a brand you trust during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Explore the full lineup of hybrid, electric, gas, and wilderness vehicles, including the trusted 2026 Subaru Forester and the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. Every Subaru is made with love and built to last, with dependability and value coming standard. It's no surprise why Consumer Reports named Subaru the best overall automotive brand for 2 years in a row, based on reliability, safety, owner satisfaction, and road test evaluations. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to discover and a lot to love. Get special low rates on select vehicles from August 1st through August 31st on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com. Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services. Visit Subaru.com/CR to learn more.
Braves fans, mark your calendars as the Dodgers and Rockies come to town August 25th through the 30th. Fans can look forward to the Harry Potter and HBCU specialty ticket packages during the week. Both include a game ticket and a specialty bobblehead.
And that's crushed to deep right. Knocked out by Olsen.
Then make sure to arrive early on Saturday for Hunting and Fishing Night, presented by the Georgia Department of Natural Resources and Realtree. Enjoy a variety of interactive exhibits, including live reptiles, a massive aquarium display, inflatable archery, hunting license sales, and more fun for the whole family. Plus, the first 15,000 fans will receive a Chipper Jones Realtree APX Camo replica jersey. The week wraps up on Sunday as the first 3,000 kids through the gates will score the Kids City Connect Sliding Mick giveaway. Visit Braves.com/promos to check out the fun and purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
When Keisha Lance Bottoms got elected, she said,
"We must be good stewards of your tax dollars."
Just 30 days later,
taxpayers covered the cost of a first-class ticket for Mayor Bottoms' husband to fly to the Super Bowl
on her taxpayer-funded credit card.
Atlanta taxpayers shelled out more than $2,600.
Worse,
more than $11,600 in luxury chauffeured car service in just her first 5 months in office.
And taxpayers covered this tab.
The State Ethics Commission has fined Keisha Lance Bottoms.
She accepted over $110,000 in contributions that exceeded legal limits,
violating campaign finance laws.
The commission's chairman declared
it's an egregious violation of the act.
And the verdict from a former prosecutor?
It smells bad. What don't you get about the rules and regulations? If Mayor Bottoms wants her legacy to be too greedy to care, they're off to a great start.
Keisha Lance Bottoms. She's out for herself, not Georgia.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one Windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
Neil Bortz is live every day on Extra 106.3.
Well, the communist with the great smile, Zoran Mamdani, is really facing a harsh reality on all these promises that he made to low-information New Yorkers to get elected mayor. The promise of free buses?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los on Extra 106.3. Glad that you are with us. 447-441-1230 at Extra 106.3. Across the social media platforms at Front Office Los, at Tug Cowards, where you can find us individually if you would like to do so. Ooh, that's right. That's code.
Acknowledge.
That's right. That's when Bronco has come onto the scene. It's funny. There's a new Cole Swindell song called Bronco. I assume it's about Los.
Stolen from me.
Yes, that's why. As soon as I heard it, I was like, "What a thief!"
I will tell you, Amazon Prime. I was flipping through yesterday while I was in Carline, and the Magnificent Seven is still on there, and I might just have to mix it in again.
Yes. Dude, I'm telling you.
There's a fun Western.
That's good living there. I like
the remake. The original is still good, too. But
yeah, the original
remake,
is what I've seen. I mean, that was years and years ago. I've not seen the...
Oh, it's got Denzel as the lead.
Okay, all right.
I think you'd like it.
Okay.
I think you'd be very happy with that evening. I don't know if it would... You know what? Yeah, I would say this. It'll satisfy you like Ford versus Ferrari did.
Okay, because I was not on board with Ford versus Ferrari. I was like, this is going to be terrible.
Like, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. You're going to go, I'm glad I watched that.
I was. Ford versus Ferrari was really, really good. Magnificent Seven, 20. It's a decade old, man.
Yeah.
It came out a decade ago. God, time flies. Can you make a straight line, Los, from wokeness to, let's say, political violence?
I think we're getting there, and I will tell you this. I'm glad that I saw this video. Maya Solkin is the host of this podcast, and it's not you're going to find like maybe 10 episodes of it, and it's distributed by the Free Press. You can go to thefp.com, and what the entire podcast, it's called Confessions, and it features all of these different people that have changed their mind from wherever they were. For instance, the one that was released probably, I don't know, last month, it's on a transitioner, a detransitioner, and talking about the mistakes they made with puberty blockers and hormones. There's a Scientologist episode about, hey, I got born into this, I bought into it, and then I realized this was wrong. So it's all over the place. This one, though, is on when it comes to the woke mindset and everything that came out of 2020. And in this case, I want you to take a listen. This is the guest who is describing this. Remember, this is a person who's doing a confession. They're talking about how they were lied to, but they're now starting to recognize the link between political violence and wokeness. Take a listen.
There's a lot of people who are like, you know what? If that's true, then I'm going to go, even a school teacher, right, going to go and try to shoot the president. Because, there's people who are really going off the deep end. And so that's the thing we have to deal with now.
So you would draw a line between wokeness and the political violence that we're seeing on the left?
Absolutely. When people have a very oversimplified understanding of the world, they're going to take oversimplified action to deal with it. And unfortunately, the simplest thing you can do to stop a problem is to stop the person who represents it. But if you're taught that there's a certain class of people that's basically creating all the problems, whether that's the billionaires or the white men or whoever it is, right? If you're told that there's a group of people who are causing the problems, then what that incentivizes is for people to want to destroy people who they're being told are creating all these problems. If you're told that certain words are violence, if you're told that certain people, just by virtue of, say, being a healthcare CEO or, having a certain worldview, if you look at someone, Charlie Kirk, who's just he's just applying his biblical worldview to all of life, and he's landing, in the category of people who believe that biological sex is a real thing, or if you're taught that those people are hateful, and that hateful people are responsible for all of the ills in the world, then it's very understandable that you get people who are excited when a person like that is killed.
Good Lord, dude.
I think I love how the guest draws the line of, if you can basically make the point that this is a hateful person, no matter what, and by the way, the left does it in terms of, if it's different from my opinion, it's hate.
Yep, that's
hate
right.
Speech, hate whatever, hate Islamophobia, transphobia, all of it is hate. That's all they're going to paint. Then it justifies eventually, as we've been woke 1.0 and woke 2.0 coming, it justifies whatever they do to you.
That's right. Yeah, and you can see it in even the case against the mother, that strangled her children of Massachusetts. You can see it. There's people out there that are blaming everybody but her. It's everybody's fault except for the woman that actually strangled her own children. I can't wrap my head around that. I really can't. And like just like with Charlie Kirk, he was always as kind and polite. He was generous with his time. He never said anything horrible about anybody. He just said, here's the way it is.
But he moved young voters
yes, he did.
To vote Republican.
That's right.
And so
therefore, he had to go. No. And then the CEO, the United Healthcare CEO, the fact that these liberal women are, oh my gosh. And I know there's always been an element of that, and you've brought that up with the documentaries about like Ted Bundy.
Serial killers have always had this.
Yeah, so I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but it still is because I can't wrap my head around it.
It's a cousin to a woman torn between two lovers. One's a vampire and one's a wolf. Okay, he's a killer.
That's right.
That's why she likes him that much more.
And vampires are killers and wolves are,
because he might hurt me.
Yeah,
ooh, that's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Give me some of that. Good Lord, what in the world is going on? Because anybody that uses logic sees, logical outcomes and logical reasoning, or when it's not logical. And it doesn't matter because those women, it's typically women, those women are the ones that are out there, preaching to the choir about, all the bad in the world. And it's always somebody's fault. And if you look at it from a logical point of view, you're like, well, that doesn't make any sense at all. But I guess I'm the problem, though, being a white dude and everything.
Yeah. You caused all the ill.
That's right. Ill in the world.
All the problems.
Right. The next Trump impeachment is next. That's what we're going to talk about in the 8 o'clock hour here on Extra 106.3.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
As time goes by, it becomes more and more important for us to be able to identify the crazies, the nut jobs, the lunatics in our midst. Thankfully, the lunatics are making it easier to spot them. Nose jewelry, nose rings. Yeah, that's a key indicator. Also, wearing Palestinian scarves and talking about genocide committed by Israel. You really want to expose a lunatic, ask them if they believe that Israel has a right to exist. And by the way, it has for 78 years. Or do Jews have a right to defend themselves? That really upsets the lunatic fringe. What do these crazies defend when they're defending Hamas and Gaza and so-called Palestinians? The attacks of October the 7th were horrendous to normal-thinking people. Here's a partial list. Parents were murdered in front of their children. A baby was shot while she was cradled in her mother's arms. 2 cowering sisters, aged 13 and 16, were slaughtered inside their homes. A 79-year-old woman was killed along with her autistic 12-year-old granddaughter. Terrified young concert goers hiding in the park in parked cars were systematically executed. Kids playing at a beach fled into a shelter where they were slain along with their adults. A Thai worker was decapitated. Women were found shot, naked from the waist down, bound with plastic ties, their genitals burned with gasoline. Hamas abductors filmed a woman with the seat of her pants soaked in blood and posted it on social media. The Democrat socialists, the true lunatics out there, still refuse to say that Israelis have the right to defend themselves. Thank you for being so obvious. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey, this is Los with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car. My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
Operation Economic Outcast. Gianna Gelosi, Fox News. That is what the Trump administration is calling its new plan to impose punishing sanctions on countries and entities that do business with Iran.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent launched Operation Economic Outcast, warning of strong sanctions against nations doing business with Iran.
It is now a time for world leaders to make a decision between prosperity and isolation.
Bessent says a process of level setting is underway to let countries know what is expected of them.
It is no longer acceptable to operate in the gray spaces of this conflict.
Iran's currency hit a record low Monday, and the United Arab Emirates announced last week it is suspending all trade and financial transactions with Iran. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Meantime, Canada will reportedly unveil new retaliatory tariffs against the U.S. today. It's the latest escalation between the two nations and Canada's response after President Trump told Canadian leaders to fall in line.
President Trump posting on Truth Social in part, on January 1st, 2027, tariffs on all cars, trucks, both large and small, automotive parts and steel will be increased to 50%. Built in the U.S. and there are zero tariffs. Canada will be treated like a state no longer. The goods represent about 5% of Canadian exports to the U.S. and are worth roughly $20 billion. Canada is responding. Dollar-for-dollar retaliatory tariffs take effect September 8th, targeting U.S. sectors including steel and dairy.
And that's Fox Business's Lydia Hu. Meantime, President Trump posting on Truth Social today, the United States is giving serious consideration to changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America, and that we don't expect to be doing much business with Ontario any longer. America's listening to Fox News.
When it comes to supplements, two things matter most. A, that it works, and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our audience do that. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I want you to hear a few of their stories. Doug took Relief Factor for nearly a year before convincing his wife, a special needs teacher, to try it. She had been using assistance just to move through the long hallways at school. Now she's back on her feet every day and never had to leave the job that she loves. I remember when buttoning my shirt was almost impossible, but Relief Factor changed how I'm able to do it and the simple things again. And they make it really easy now for you to find out if you can be the next person that's telling us about Relief Factor and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks, $17.76. Try it. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with their friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us as well. ReliefFactor.com.
Hey, it's your old pal Neil Bortz. I'm back on Atlanta's only conservative news talk station, Extra 106.3. Okay, here's more of the Morning Extra.
Out in the country, past the city limit sign, where there's a honky-tonk near the county line.
I don't know if y'all saw this, It's interesting that you chose this song. I'd seen where Brooks and Dunn actually shared a video of Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA player, doing like I'll call it a sexy dance because it kind of was. But she was doing a dance to the song, and she's lip syncing it, and she just,
provocative dance?
Provocative. It's sexy, they're kind of the same. Roughly the same. And Brooks and Dunn thought so much of it that all their social accounts shared it too. I was like, yes. Smart boys. Smart. Dude, get the hottest thing going right now. Just doing a lip sync to heel toe do-si-do. Come on. I'm telling you. It was something else. I saw it last night, and I was like, well, how you doing?
Well played, sir.
That's right. Well, and for her, too. You know, it's so great. What's the, his name escapes me. It's one of the guys that the Braves added at the trade deadline. He uses Boot Scoot and Boogie. Blake Thomas.
Lane Thomas.
Lane Thomas, thank you. He uses Boot Scoot Boogie as his walk-up music, too. So everybody, Sophie Cunningham, Lane Thomas, us here on the Morning Extra, everybody loves Brooks and Dunn.
Real quick, I just want to let you know that Los was also practicing hitting the hooks.
Oh, hitting the post.
Hitting the post. I'm sorry, hitting the post.
Yep.
And he was doing a pretty good job this week.
Dude, he's a solid dealer, man.
I'm not on Tug's level. It was more on accident. Like, I felt like, I'm hearing the transition. It's time for me to get out right now.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you just got to be small. Or if you got to add some words. Sometimes you have to add some words. You know, you wouldn't normally say it the way that you say it, but you got to add the words to make sure you get right there and nail it, and then nail the post.
Get right there.
That's where you want to get right there. And unless it's like a song, there are songs that you don't want to walk up. Like I would never walk up completely to the post like Devil Went Down to Georgia or I don't know, Stairway to Heaven. You wouldn't do that. But just because those are songs that deserve reverence and you need to shut your mouth and let the song talk. You know?
I could just see Tug Cowart at now it'll probably be down the road with grandchildren. And he's had it and they're sitting in a church pew. And he just goes, you know what you need to do right now? You need to shut your mouth.
You need
shut your mouth. Shut it. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
It's so, and that's one of those. I think shut your mouth is stronger than shut up. Like shut up.
Oh yeah.
Like shut up is almost like
shut your mouth is scary,
dude. Shut your mouth has intent behind it. Not be quiet.
Shut your mouth has a bit of "or I'll shut it for you" coming after.
It
without
does.
it having to be said.
That's a great point. I hadn't thought of it that way, but that's a great point. Absolutely. And shut your mouth is strong. Good Lord.
There's something a little scary about shut your mouth.
That's right, because the belt, you liable to get the belt. You liable to get a hickory switch. You don't know. Well, you don't know what's coming if you don't.
How could you know?
A hickory switch.
What's that?
They rip the branch off the tree and they hit you with it.
Oh.
You never had a spanking with a hickory?
Nah, I was a belt kid.
Yeah.
I was a belt kid.
Well, yeah, no, I got that too occasionally. But yeah, my Brown, she would make you go pick your own hickory stick and then wear your ass out with it. She didn't do it much. She didn't have to.
Did you ever have to is there a strategy to picking out the stick at all?
Well, yeah, get one that's durable. Because if you go get one that's a little bitty, my Brown will send you out there again, and you're probably going to get it worse. You don't ever want to come back with a little bitty, tiny hickory stick. Now, I don't say you got to get the biggest one out there, but you better come back with one that was usable, and you better have already pulled the little leaves off of it. And, dude, it was ugly. Like I said, she didn't need to do it much. All you need to do it about once or twice, and then the rest of the time you're good because you knew.
I just like the fact that she was reaching back.
Oh yeah,
like she was trying to win the Kentucky Derby.
That's right. Yeah, mule. That's right. She was. That's the truth, man. She went back, and then she had a cigarette after. It was, I think it was Paul Moss.
Ma Brown just did some work.
Yes, she did. And it was funny because Ma Brown was so funny. Because here's the thing. My daddy's mom and daddy, they were really saintly people. I mean, never raised their voice, never said a bad word. Everything was just so, it was like walking into perfection. Like you always behave there because it was just so, everything was. My Brown, she smoked and cuss. It was great,
Fun to do bad things.
Yes,
yeah, it is
right.
Ma Brown.
And Ma Brown was not about to give it up, and she did quit smoking toward the end. But she was wide open. She was.
Do you ever think that maybe she reached her end because she stopped smoking?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been. It took that nicotine out of her system, and
her defense that she had.
Right. She got riled up. She was ready to cause some damage when you were making trouble. Dude, I'm telling you, Ma Brown was something else. She was so much fun. She would, you'd hear I think I've told y'all, she lived pretty close to the train tracks. We could see them from her yard. And it was kind of down a bit of a hill. So, it was probably a good mile and a half away, but you could see them. And And you'd hear the train coming, and she'd grab you and throw you in the car and take you down there and let you watch the train next to Kmart. And then afterwards, we'd go get Crystal Burgers, sack full, and then go to Dalton Parks and Recreation Department and play on the slide for a little while.
Would she smoke during that point too?
Oh, always. Yeah, there wasn't enough time you didn't smoke. What?
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, she would have her Pall Malls and, just living life and taking care of these kids because that's all she'd ever did her whole life, take care of kids. Because she had a bunch, and then her oldest daughter, which is funny because my cousins are actually the same age as my mama. So when I talk about my cousin Nick down in Kissimmee, Florida, that listens to the show, morning Nick, country call out if you're listening this morning. I don't know if he is or not, but he's actually my second cousin, and he's my age because my actual cousin is my mom and dad's age. My mom had an older sister. And Ma Brown took care of all of us. Every generation, man, she took care of everybody. I think it was different back then. Don't y'all? Or Los, you probably, Bryce, you probably don't know, but.
No, I think I think you're right along the lines of, like, I don't know, like I had on one side, on my parents' side, on my mom's side, it was a small amount of family. On my dad's side, I had like endless family.
Yeah.
But also, my dad didn't really trust them to,
Did they smoke and drink or something?
No, they're just, I'm telling you, like the weirdest part about growing up, it's me and one of my cousins, and she's an attorney in San Antonio, Texas. And the weird part was her two sisters were so wheels off, and so many of my cousins were so wheels off. Like, we actually had a Thanksgiving where my dad took me over to his sister's house, and I remember they were celebrating that Rex survived the knife wound.
Good Lord. I mean, wow. What a conversation that must have been over turkey
Fun to
dressing.
do bad things.
Yeah. He's no longer with us.
No, are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's not that surprising, but wow, dude, that sucks.
But that was the environment for me, who had, I just played sports and went to school and went to class. Like, I didn't get into, I got into, like, the typical trouble.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, like late class, and, I got a speeding ticket one time, but I mean.
Did you ever throw breakers?
Throw breakers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oh, you got to be at your best when you're throwing breakers. You and I should do this one day. Now, I think there'll be real world repercussions, but it'd be good for the show.
Okay.
What we do is we drive around and we find like an unsuspecting Burger King.
Yeah.
And nothing against the King.
No, of course not. Yeah.
But you find where they have their main power to their whole building.
Oh, my Lord.
And you pull it. And you take off.
Oh, my God, dude. Yes, that would be so much fun.
I know. We would do this, and it would be hilarious. In fact, we had a friend of ours, their brother worked at Wendy's. The people at Wendy's would give us all, it'd be like 3 or 4 of us in a car, free Frosties if we threw the breaker at the Burger King across the street. And we would throw it. And you would see all of Wendy's and their whole staff light up and start cheering.
And then y'all got your Frosties, went on home.
We drive back by, got our Frosties, and go on home.
Dude, it's fun to do bad things.
It is. You don't even have to smoke with
But
cigarettes.
I want to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
I did do hood rat stuff with my friend.
You did.
Didn't hurt anybody. It turned the lights off.
For sure. Oh, my God. That is awesome, dude. Throw the breakers. I love it. I want to go do that at somebody's house.
I know.
Get Curtis. Awesome. Y'all are going to have a grand old time.
Dude, Curtis. Do you know how much Curtis would love this? He would. My cousin Curtis would love this.
That's harmless fun right there.
I don't know if you're back there cooking some, all beef patties and things, and then the breaker goes and you're having to give people half cooked meat, you can't do that.
They're all frozen anyway.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But still, I think you got to rewarm them up. I think they're, they're probably frozen, but still raw.
I hope that when you're driving around over the next few days you pull into like gas station parking lot or you're near your Publix and you start looking over and you're like, so those are the breakers. Now, the smart companies put a lock on their breakers, a padlock or anything else. Not everybody does that because who drives around throwing breakers?
Well, Los and his friends back in the day. I mean, him and his buddies.
That's what we were doing.
Dude, I love that. I'm
30 years ago.
We need to find somebody's house and just run in their garage real quick and kick open the door and flip it and run.
Well, okay, now that I would be concerned with only because
trespassing.
Well, but there's also the prevalence of Ring cameras and everything else. I'm telling you, there are no Ring cameras at the back of your Publix.
No, just wear a Morning Extra shirt and promo the show. So
exactly. I'm saying we wear Morning Extra attire.
And carry a vote with.
We have our, vote for us for mornings in the back windshield.
Yes.
And we go throw breakers and we just see how long it takes.
You know what's going to screw us? The flock cameras.
Of course.
That's what's going to screw us. That's worse than Ring. Yeah. But, I mean, look, you will get, no press is bad press, I've always heard.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's what, look, I think it's.
Just got to watch out for that camera. I heard that also adds 10 pounds, though.
Oh, the camera? Yeah. It does. Yes. Why? Did somebody say I was fat or something?
No.
Oh.
Did say you were tan.
I was figuring to say that was probably along with tan. Wow. All he did was eat and drink, man.
He's so tan.
He's put on some weight, too.
There's some people that want to see your abs.
Oh, no, they don't.
Oh, that was actually me.
They're covered up with the layer fat.
I just said that maybe because you're so tan, you would be like, here, now check out my abs.
Yeah, right. Come on. Ugh. Yeah. No, they're under there because I do, like, when I go work out twice a week, between each circuit, I do, 60 or 70 crunches. So if you do that 4 times, you do the math. They're under there, but
there you go.
But I still like sloppy joes and pizza and too many drinks, and that actually,
I just love how you're so like, and then
Well, it's because they're there, and I want them to be more prevalent, because I would love to be able to, roll into the house one day and just lift up my shirt and be like, look here, babe, what do you think of these? Well, I've been working on these for a while.
Check out this thing.
That's right.
You're just hiding them for yourself. And
I guess, man. I guess that's, I don't think I have another choice. I'm not willing to give up eating the things that I really like to eat.
Yeah, but you don't really like sweets.
No, I don't. No, but rum turns into sugar.
Well,
so it's not great for you. It's kind of a sailor thing. And here's the things, my buddy, when we're down at the beach, I took like a handle of Bacardi and then like a fifth. Oh man, I'm sounding like alcoholic. A fifth of Sailor Jerry Navy spiced rum,
and some cocaine.
Yeah, come on. But everybody, because the Sailor Jerry is really good, and everybody would just take pulls off of it, so it went pretty quick. And then somebody would go out the store and they'd bring some more, and so we started taking pulls off that.
I don't drink very often because I'm too good at it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you what, I think maybe I am too. I'm thinking I'm getting there, But anyway, it was a fun trip, and we need to I should have thrown some breakers down at the beach.
Yes, you should have. That'd been awesome.
Dude, just run to the house that, next to the one we had Airbnb and just throw the breaker in there because they're not. I mean, it's usually those are kind of in a nice community, if they're Airbnb in their house, and if you just go into the garage, dude, and just watch the panic ensue. Because it would happen, those people have no idea, and it's not their house, so they're going to be nervous about losing their deposit.
And you would think, wow, is there some random storm?
Yes,
what occurred?
What just happened? Did an airplane crash in front of the house? What happened?
You got to get all your friends to do different houses all on the block. So that way your house is the only one lit up.
Yeah, that's right. There must have been a broad power outage. There's 4 or 5 houses around here that are not, not working. Lord. Anyway, 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. I guess we should do this real quick. First thing to know is about Trump being impeached again. Yes, again.
I am a morning man. Along the airwaves I do ride, with facts and fire by my side. Many a liberal lost their arguments to my truth. Many a snowflake melted down right in their booth. They tried to cancel me back in 2025.
But they failed.
But the Morning Extra's still alive.
And they will not get it done just because we refuse. We don't participate in the cancellation. It's kind of like COVID. We don't really participate in that either. I want to tell you what's going to happen, though, should the Democrats take the government back. And I'm not saying it will happen, but it'd be silly to say that, that it won't happen. It couldn't happen because it certainly could. Should Trump be impeached if the Democrats take control? Chris Van Hollen, the senator, said, well, look, he's done impeachable things.
I think he's committed impeachable offenses. I think our focus should be on dealing with these big economic issues and taking other measures to hold members of this administration accountable. So, for example, Todd Blanche should never have been Attorney General. He's still acting like the president's personal attorney. He and folks under his control have lied to our courts, literally lied to our courts. They need to be held accountable.
It's so easy to say that, right? Well, they've been lying to the courts. Do you have a piece of evidence? Would you mind referencing one of those lies? Would you bring maybe one of those up so somebody could be like, oh, then, okay, that makes sense. Nope, didn't do that. He's just lied. So he needs to be impeached. They all need to be impeached. So that's what you can get, Los, for the next 2 years if the Democrats win. A push toward communism and Islamofascism and more impeachment. That's what will go on over and over and over. It'll be a replay of the last time they did it.
I'm willing to bet because I think there's two things going on here. The first one is that you have to drive a way to get people to vote, and Trump still does that. And so hopefully that's exactly what they're doing, because the other end of that is that the reason why he's president again after everything they attempted is because of everything they attempted. That's why he won easily. Yeah, that's why he won the popular vote.
Yeah.
And so you want to guarantee J.D. Vance a victory in 2028? By all means, impeach the president every week. See how that goes for you.
Yeah, no, it'd be, I guess, it'll backfire like it did, but it will be a painful, annoying 2 years. You're going to be just like, good Lord, again? What we got to sit through for 2 years?
But that's where I don't believe it's actually going to happen. I think that they have now viewed the what occurs when they go down this road. I mean, they actually got a mugshot of him, which for any other politician in the modern era, that's supposed to be the end of your career.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's supposed to be it. It's like, hey, we got a mug. Yeah, it's like we're in a different era. If they think that going after Trump somehow gets people to relax and say, oh, hey, why don't I take a look at the Democrats once again? I think it drives people away because it's a lack of ideas. As I've said before, I'll point it out again. What the Democrats should be doing is taking the very best ideas from this administration and claiming them as their own.
Yeah. Yep. I wonder, maybe it won't become a talking point. Maybe it won't be a discussion every day, like Van Hollen has said, leading up. But once, if they do win, that's exactly what they're going to do. It is going to be all hands on deck. We're impeaching. We're putting them in jail. We're doing all the crap that fell apart before. They're going to be emboldened to try to do it again, because just like with socialism, we didn't do it right last time. We're going to get it right this time.
It always go back to the same thing. Will there be any point where they're, at least as currently constructed, or even if it was to change hands, there's not going to be 60 votes in the Senate?
Right. No, yeah, right.
It just none of it goes to the point of conviction. So all it turns into is a waste of time.
Well, they're good.
And if that's all the Democrats plan on doing for 2 years leading up to a presidential election is waste of time, say hello to President J.D. Vance.
Which is what I hope.
Which fine, go for it. If you want to do it, do it.
Good.
I know what happens.
Yeah. Abdul El Sayed said that Twitch streamer does not speak for him. All of a sudden. Next on Extra.
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Toyota's national sales event is happening now through August 31st at Marietta Toyota. Thinking about going electric? Well, the 2026 Toyota BZ gives you an all-electric Toyota with no gas stops, a quiet commute, and confidence of buying from a dealership you know. For drivers who want to spend less time at the pump and more time enjoying the drive, BZ is a smart way to try all-electric without leaving Toyota behind. Every new Toyota includes a nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty. That's unlimited time and unlimited mileage as long as you own it. We've been voted Best of Cop for 2026, Best New Car Dealership, Best Service Center. For well-qualified buyers, special financing is available on the new 2026 Toyota BZ, 0% APR for up to 72 months through August 31st. Visit us on Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium, Marietta Toyota. Since 1975, we've been here and we'll be here for you.
0% APR for 72 months with approved credit through SCTF. Not all buyers qualify. Offer ends 8/31/26. See dealer for details. All prices exclude tax, tag, and title and include $699 doc fee and $257 electronic tag fee.
Join Daniel Matalon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. or listen to the podcast anywhere. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
So you got into an argument. Things got heated. Then a fight broke out, and it landed you in jail. Now what? You need A Second Chance Bail Bonds. They can get you or your loved one out of jail quickly, in most cases, in a few hours. So make the right call. A Second Chance Bail Bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
Don't believe this nonsense you see on TV commercials about how uncomfortable a CPAP mask is. Take it from me. You wear one, especially the nasal pillow I use, for one night, and you will fight anybody that tries to take it away from you. But if they do take it away from you, you can get more at cpapsetcetera.com, cpapsetc.com, with a store in Alpharetta, same-day shipping. To your health, cpapsetc.com.
Summer is here, and it's time to enjoy your outdoor oasis as a family. Don't know where to begin? At Stovall & Company, we have everything you need to make your landscaping dreams come true. From premium mulch and topsoil to a wide variety of plants, trees, shrubs, and annuals, Stovall has it all. Check us out at StovallInc.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, August 25th, and here are your headlines. The U.S. and Canada are heading toward an even bigger trade fight as Canada is expected to announce retaliatory tariffs against President Trump after President Trump warned the Canadian leaders, to fall in line or face consequences far worse. Trump says tariffs on Canadian vehicles, steel, and other imports could rise to 50%, while the Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says Ottawa won't accept being treated as a subsidiary of the United States. NASA is putting $10 million into Georgia Tech to help fill the aerospace industry's skilled labor gap. The program will train workers for jobs including welding, machining, and artificial intelligence rather than focusing solely on traditional aerospace careers. Officials say Georgia is already home to nearly 800,000 aerospace jobs. And finally, Georgia's governor's race continues to heat up and get more personal. Democrat Keisha Lance Bottoms confronted Republican Rick Jackson at an event and asked him to keep her family out of his campaign ads. It comes after Jackson's campaign had been targeting Keisha Lance Bottoms' husband over a taxpayer-funded plane ticket that he used to go to the Super Bowl while she was the mayor of Atlanta. All this happened while Jackson is touting endorsements from 104 Georgia sheriffs. Expect mostly sunshine today with a high of 92 and a low of 71. The Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Can I say something about that real quick? That whole Keisha Lance Bottoms thing, don't go after my family. I understand where she's coming from. It'd be different if Rick Jackson said, hey, Keisha's husband's running around on her. That'd be one thing. But to question the leadership of someone that would use whatever the amount of money was to fly her husband on taxpayer dollars to the Super Bowl, I think that's a valid concern. That shows you lack of leadership. That shows you lack of judgment. I don't think that's just dragging her family through the ringer. Los, am I right about that?
Yeah, let me say this, Tug, and I'm glad you brought that up because we have talked about in the past how we put up with dumb government all the time.
Yeah.
But both sides do not care for corrupt government. And who knew, pulling back the curtain a little bit, Rick Jackson and his team made an incredible ad buy in the state of Georgia. He flooded the market. Like, here's what the ads are going to be. Here's what they're. But at the time, no one knew because no one had heard the ads. It turns out it's that ad.
Mm-hmm.
It's pushing all of the, hey, Keisha Lance Bottoms was using taxpayer money for herself and her husband. And that is the kind of corruption that she cannot seem to run away from. He basically took a leg out from her before this thing even really gets going.
Yeah, no doubt. Because it feels very fraudulent. And with all the fraudulent stuff that goes on up in, Minnesota, places like that, when you have that type of fraud, and then here locally you see a mayor, former mayor, putting husband up on a private aircraft and sending him to the Super Bowl, that seems very fraudulent. I mean, especially for someone who's probably made pretty good money as I would assume. I mean, I'll look it up to make sure that I'm right about the amount of money made and that sort of stuff. But it just seems very, very fraudulent. It seems to go right in line with what's happening in all the other blue states and cities.
Well, and there's one other thing here, Tug, and this is where I'm saying, this is 4D chess. This is really smart. What the left typically does is they attack success and they attack money. The issue and what Rick Jackson has created for Keisha Lance Bottoms, his team, is that she was doing things that rich people do, like Rick Jackson, but she was doing them on your money.
Yeah.
How can she? Rick Jackson takes a private jet everywhere. If she was to, if that's the retort, it's like, he's a billionaire. You are not. Why are you using taxpayer money for this?
Yeah.
It creates a problem for her that she can't explain, and she can't go after the money for Rick Jackson because he can just say, I pay for that stuff. She doesn't.
And the mayor currently makes $236,865 a year, which is a whole lot more than average folks make. And that's an increase from $202,730, which is also. So I'm going with the lower number here on this for Keisha. You could have probably paid for your husband to go. You could have paid for him to go first class, but no, you had to use taxpayer dollars,
right?
Or speaking of glad, she used taxpayer dollars to send her on a private jet. First class wasn't good enough on your own dime. Private jet on my dime. Dude, it doesn't look good. And not that she's going to be hard to attack anyway. Her tenure as mayor was not good. So I think they're smart by doing this versus the stuff that people already know, because all you're doing is beating that drum into the ground.
And I do believe just because you're now trying to basically spin this as a family issue.
Yep.
As if you were talking about my divorce or that my kid has problems at school. It's like, no. I don't think so. Hold on one second, Lee Harvey. Yeah. This isn't a family issue to be avoided. That's how damaging it is to her, these ads.
Yeah. Morning Xtra and Xtra 1063. Abdul El Sayed, who's running for senator up in Michigan, who said he had a productive meeting with Hassan Piker a couple weekends ago. And, they talked about all kinds of things, all kinds of important things, I'm sure, to do with races and to do with, how the left needs to, take over and be in charge. This is the same guy that did the Charlie Kirk song. I don't know if y'all talked about that when he was singing the Charlie Kirk song, and he told Jewish Americans and specifically Jewish Democrat Jeremy Moss going to come after him if you support Israel. All of a sudden, now you have a guy like El Sayed going, well, I don't know anything. The Twitch streamer doesn't speak for me.
Yeah, and now it's been reduced to it's just a Twitch streamer.
Right, exactly. Not even naming him.
Even though it was a primary advocate for you during the primary, now that you're in a general, you realize how bad this is working for you. Now, as much as the attack from Hassan Piker, and again, link everyone to Hassan Piker. Hassan Piker is a monstrous albatross on anyone because of what he has said and what he's done. And the fact that because he's a Twitch streamer, there is a level that he's been able to get away with because Twitch is largely an environment for younger people.
Right.
Okay? Like adults, it's not really geared to them. Now, like I said, I've been on Twitch. I think Twitch is pretty cool. The audience is predominantly younger. I get that. Now, here's the thing about Abdul El Sayed. He ends up having to release a statement in which he basically points out, I want to be crystal clear. Nobody speaks for this campaign besides me and my campaign spokespeople. hold on a second. The Twitch streamer, the person that you were aligned with, the person that you were seen with all over the place 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think we're now starting to see that distancing from Hassan Piker everywhere where they can.
I just don't know if we're so close to the election. I don't know how anybody would be able to believe that there's nothing there. If you just said we came off of a weekend a couple weeks ago, had a productive meeting where we discussed Trump dying. I think that was what they said. That's not my words, their words. So I don't know that you can separate the two. If you're a candidate, I understand why you're trying to. I don't know you get it done. But the other thing is, I think people have made up their minds on that one already. Either you're going to vote for the Islamofascist communist or you're not. I don't think independents are going to vote for him regardless.
No, and I think it's pretty well damning the way things are going is that the Democrats in that state of Michigan, who were kind of run-of-the-mill everyday Democrats, are looking at a DSA and Hassan Piker and El Sayed and going, okay, that doesn't really fit me. Now, I think what's going to also be damning is the interview that he did with Jesse Waters last night.
Oh, my Lord, dude.
Man.
Good heavens.
Man, when you don't know what the federal budget is, when you compare removing children's genitalia in the interest of the trans movement to circumcision.
Yeah. You sound like a buffoon. You sound like a complete buffoon.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
Yeah. And look, Jesse Waters, I think, is a pretty smart guy. And we talk about it all the time. I don't watch the show with any regularity. I see occasionally, a good clip that'll pop up on social media. And that's one that popped up for me this morning. It was earlier this morning. I was reading that whole thing about the circumcision with transing kids. And one of them changes a kid forever before a kid has the time to understand what's happening with themselves, what's going on in there. Because I said it earlier this morning, I believe gender dysphoria is real. I do believe that kids, probably a small percentage of kids go through that. But we know from the research that most of them grow out of it. And even the bigger research that comes out of Europe that says none of this stuff is good for them. And now even the research that's being done in the United States says the same thing, Los. So to try to compare them is like apples and oranges. And one of them is just as horrendous as it goes. Circumcision? Are you kidding me, dude?
El Sayed asked Jesse Waters if he was circumcised. And then, as Jesse Waters is explaining, well, that's a personal question, but yes. And then Sayed's basically linking that to the removal of male or female genitalia in the interest of the trans movement, that they're one and the same. He was drawing such wild, unequivocal points last night that I believe that's going to, once that stuff hits, especially some last night into today, when that starts making its rounds, it didn't make sense. Like, so for instance, he was drawing these equivalencies all over the place, not just moral equivalency, but, well, if this happened, this must have happened. And so I want you to take a listen to him. This is during a discussion about the amount of illegals that are in this country. And if I was to say, and I'll give it as a very simple situation, Tug, I'm interviewing you, and if I was to say, Tug, why does it seem that we have so many illegals in this country? What would you say to a question like that?
Well, because the prior administration kicked open the door and allowed 20 million people to come in while saying that it wasn't happening.
Okay, that is a legitimate, solid answer, backed by information, backed by what you were able to see, backed by the fact that we've seen this explosion within the welfare system of people that are applying for it. It's logical. All right, here is El Sayed answering a very similar question from Jesse Waters.
Your point, Jesse, let me just answer the question.
To answer it, how many do we have?
Fewer when we had INS. To your answer, we had
exactly.
Far fewer when we had
exactly.
INS. So
we now have
INS worked a lot better.
Abdul, listen, we had twice as many illegals now when we had INS.
So to your argument,
you have to have the manpower to do it.
If you want to do that correlation, we have ICE now, and we have far, far more undocumented people. So ICE is clearly not working. It's just shooting like American citizens in the face and the back of the head. So
well,
if you're okay
illegals
with that,
are shooting people in the face
too.
too.
To disagree.
So his argument becomes that because there is more ICE, there are more illegals.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
We've increased the number of ICE agents, and so hence we now have more illegals.
But what other argument is he going to make? I mean, there's nothing that is logical because everybody knows what happened. Everybody knows why we have 20 million extra people. Everybody, even if you agree with it, you know. So what else is he going to say? He's got to say something. He's got to have some answer.
I don't think he's gotten his most recent download.
Maybe.
Like the plan was, as of a month ago, as of 6 weeks ago, was to lay all of this at the feet of Joe Biden and basically let Joe be the fall guy for this stuff. Hey, the border was open. It wasn't handled correctly. People weren't vetted correctly. This is a long-term mistake. It was something that Joe Biden wanted to do in the Biden administration. That was what I believed was going to happen. Some people like El Sayed still haven't gone down that road that other people that I would say are a little bit more astute, a little bit more with it in terms of the Democrat Party have been starting to blame Joe for that. But blame Joe like he's a black hole.
Yeah, right. Because
it ain't coming back.
That's right. You're right. There's no reason not to. And I hope they don't. I hope they continue down the path that they're on now. I hope they stay with that. But you're right. If they were to pivot, it wouldn't matter. And then even people that like Joe Biden be like, yeah, I know what happened. He probably shouldn't have done that. And it's so easy to make the connection that even the people that like Joe are going to be on board with you. That makes sense to me, but I don't think they'll do it. And then the whole that just quickly going back to the whole, if you keep supporting Israel, we're coming after you. That sounds really, really bad.
It's a very strange threat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. And especially from Islamists who say Israel doesn't have the right to exist. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you could pick apart with that. I get why El Sayed has kind of, distanced himself a little bit, but they've not distanced themselves truly. Just from this remark, it'll be a couple days and you won't hear anything about them together because the mainstream media is certainly not going to talk about it. Obviously Jesse Waters at Fox did. There'll be one or two, but by and large, the big, media apparatus isn't going to do that. So it'll be a while that they're not connected together, but 2 weeks from now, they'll be right back together.
It's just such a weird scenario that if El Sayed was to win, he will be on stage with next one will be Hassan Piker. What they're essentially doing is, I need to show how extreme left I am. And there's no one more extreme left than Hassan Piker. So that's what you get in a primary in Michigan. Now, I got to pretend like I don't even know this guy. Because I can't win. I can't win a general with this dude. There's no way. The rest of if there's middle-of-the-road Democrats left in Michigan, there's no way they're going to vote for him. We even played some of the audio on Friday. You had a representative from the state house who was a Democrat flat out telling you can't vote for El Sayed.
Yeah, and Fox News is reporting that there are Jewish Democrats in Michigan that are crossing the line to back Mike Rogers because of all of this kind of stuff. And I understand. I would too.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it's not like you have to, stretch very far to understand why. The whole, just those weird veiled threats, that's not good for anything or anybody. And I'm not trying to change the subject, but it's like the James Comey thing with the whole 8647. It's a veiled threat.
Yeah.
We know what it means. We know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not 12 years old. I know what you're referring to it as. If you're telling me I was walking down the beach and I found this thing, you're saying the same thing to somebody, being like, hey, if you happen to back this group, I'm just telling you.
Yeah, we're coming after you.
What does that mean?
Yeah, we're coming after you. But it gives them just enough plausible to well, I wasn't
talking about violence. That's the game on the left
always. It just seems like it's always that game.
Yes, it's inspiring violence while then saying when it happens,
I had no
political violence has no place in America.
Lord, no, absolutely.
But stop Hitler.
Yes, exactly.
I didn't tell you to try and kill him. I said stop Hitler.
Him. I just meant, don't let him drive down the street. Stand in front of him. Don't let him eat in peace at restaurants. I didn't mean kill him. What do you mean? Goodness. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning. I feel like we got it figured out, Los. Your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. Spencer Pratt, dude, he put together an incredible video. And we're not going to play it all because it's too long, but some of the things that he puts in here are so valid. And I think they're going to talk to a lot of people this election cycle. Next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, August 25th. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand at Truist Park tonight with a visit from the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound for the Braves this evening. He'll be opposed by Tyler Glasnow. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From college football, the Southeastern Conference issued a statement last night in belief that athletes who leave college and sign professional contracts should not be permitted to be part of collegiate athletics once again, saying, quote, college athletes, not former professional athletes, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Individuals who choose to leave college athletics, sign professional playing contracts, and compete professionally should not be then permitted to return to college competition. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
When you retire, you'll walk away from meetings, deadlines, and spreadsheets. But you know what you also walk away from? Your paycheck. So now what? You call Evan Ward and the team at Atlas Retirement. Evan's main focus has always been protecting what you have and building a paycheck that comes in every month. Call today for a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with Evan Ward and Atlas Retirement. 678-252-5224.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We are a family-owned, operated, independent local company. We have over 15 years of artificial grass design, installation, and sales experience. From premium artificial lawns and backyards, custom putting greens, sports fields, hardscape, drainage. We do both residential and commercial. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
We've all heard it before. Buy one, get one windows. 10% off if you call today. $500 off if you sign tonight. But are these really a special? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Hi, this is Candace with Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. Don't fall for it. It's exhausting trying to keep up with all the fake specials being offered. And we all say the same thing. We're all licensed, we're all insured, we all have 5-star reviews. At Exovations, we want to earn your business the right way. But don't take our word for it. Let us show you why we say we are different from other contractors. To find out what it means to have an on-time, on-budget, and stress-free renovation, call me today at 770-205-2995 or online at exovations.com. That's exovations.com.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
It's August 25th, and this is your Fox Deli Snapshot. Today is
National Kiss and Makeup Day. Fights happen. We're all human, but we need to forgive and forget or say sorry and then make up. On this day in 2006, Hyperion, the world's tallest living tree, a redwood standing 379.1 feet, is discovered in the remote area of Redwood National and State Parks in California by naturalists Chris Atkins and Michael Taylor. It took 12 years, covering 4 billion miles, and Voyager 2 flies over cloud tops of Neptune and its moon Triton, sending back photographs of swamps in 1989. The Great Moon Hoax is published in the New York Sun in 1835, announcing the supposed discovery of life on the moon. Born on this day in 1968, celebrity chef Rachel Ray teaching us how to cook.
So I have 2 4-pound chickens here. That'll feed 6 to 8 people.
I'm CJ Papa. That's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Tug and Los until 10 on Xtra 106.3 app, best way to listen. Or on the YouTube channel, don't forget that. Country call out to the extras that are enjoying the show that way.
I'm going to it right now because you told me to.
Well, see, I hope more people will follow your lead, Los. I hope they do that because it's fun over there. And they talk about the topics that we're talking about. It's just a good community there on the YouTube channel. So be an extra. And
there's the soul man.
That's me. Look at here. I've come back super tan from the beach and really relaxed. It's nuts how in just 3 or 4 days at the beach will do your soul good.
Well, you passed out, so
no. I'm
sorry.
Threw up.
You threw up.
Yeah. Well, but I guess after I threw up, I did go pass out.
Oh, yeah, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, brush my teeth and just go straight to the rack.
That's running it. I mean, you're burning the candle at both ends, just running the engine in the red all day,
dude. I'm telling you.
I'll tell you what, brushing the teeth is a veteran.
Oh,
move.
dude, you have to.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's going on. Going to bed without brushing my teeth is a cannot do.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I've done this a few times in the last month. And it's always first thing in the morning.
Have you thrown up after a long day of drinking?
No. I mean,
that's what we were talking about.
I'm saying I normally brush my teeth before I go to bed.
Yep.
And there's been a couple times in the past month where whether it's just I've forgotten or I was just so tired.
Yeah, you just went straight to bed.
And the next morning I'm always like, just the grossest feeling.
So gross.
You gotta. I don't know. I just don't know that lifestyle of I'm not gonna brush so that it gets nasty all night, and then I get up in the morning and I've got like dragon breath.
Oh God, no way, dude! And then add in there drinking all day, not eating and throwing up. then going to bed with that. So that's why I definitely. That's the one thing. It doesn't matter if I couldn't tell you which way's up. I'm getting my teeth brushed somehow or another.
See, now I got a question for you. While drinking, did you partake in any Zens or anything like that?
No, I didn't. No, nobody had any. Actually, I take that back. My buddy Trey did have some, but I don't know why, because I'd ask him. I was like, you got some of Zen?
We had a big Zen weekend. Well,
you got some of Zen?
The ons, because we had 4 matches on Saturday.
Yeah, so the dads
part of a tournament. Yeah, so the dad squad was getting after it.
Yeah, passing them out, man.
We even snuck away for a margarita when we had a 2-hour break. We're like, let's go.
Attaboy. So what was close by that you could get a margarita?
There's a place right off of Exit 18 in the Walmart parking lot called Palapas that actually has like a really nice Mexican bar. We got some margaritas and got back and we cheered a little louder.
Love it. Usually do. After a margarita, you can cheer louder. You can be more expressive.
I'm all margaritaed up, man.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
You do a lot of things louder.
Yes. Yeah, you do. You just talk a lot louder when you have had a few. Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3. Spencer Pratt has nailed it again. We obviously won't be able to play all of the video, but some of it I want to play because it reminds me of a dear friend of mine. And I'll explain. I've told you about him before, where he's gotten to the point where nothing is real. And everything is a conspiracy theory. Everything. And there's even times when he was like, he's blaming Israel for everything. I'm just like, something doesn't feel right about every answer coming through what seems to me like a TikTok filter. And this is, a dear friend. We went to high school together. Dude was in my wedding. We're friends. And he tells me some of these things, and I'm like, dude, get yourself off TikTok. Good Lord. And And so when I heard this video from Spencer Pratt, it made a lot of sense to me. I'm going to cut to the point in the video, probably about 2 or 3 minutes in. He had told the story about the mom in Massachusetts, Lindsay Clancy, who had is on trial for killing her children. And he went through the grave and gross and intense details of what had to happen for this woman to be able to do this. And then he flashes to the people that don't believe anything, the TikTok moms, and that type, which says, well, it couldn't have been Lindsay.
Patrick's the one who did it, not Lindsay.
Because, of course, in this dystopian social media era, everything is a conspiracy. Nothing is real. Bad things don't happen. Every real story is just fed slop. The real story is some convoluted, nefarious plot by the Jews.
What? That's so crazy.
Whatever the opposite of Occam's razor is, that's TikTok. We have lost our damn minds. I really think that COVID fried people's brains and that they've simply never recovered. We were gaslit to hell, of course. Dr. Tony Fauci, funded the development of the virus. He lied about the lab leak.
So it came from a wet market in the same place where there's this huge lab that does all the kind of development of exactly what this thing is. That's some coincidence.
They lied about the threat to kids. They locked everyone down.
I wear a mask to school. I wear a mask to school.
It was like some horrendous globalized Stanford prison experiment.
And then he goes on to say that all of our institutions, because of that, have lost credibility. The CDC, he goes through them all. And everything he said is exactly right. But it just made me think of my friend, especially when he was calling it Fed slop, because I've heard him use that term before, where it's just the federal bureaucracy has created this. It's actually a conspiracy theory. And dude, we'll go down the conspiracy theory road once in a while. It depends. But when we were called conspiracy theories, Los, is when we were saying that it didn't come from a wet market, talking about COVID, that things like the COVID vax didn't work the way they were saying it did, or it didn't work at all. And we were labeled conspiracy theories or theorists as a slander. These people, what they're doing is totally different. It's not even similar, but I think Spencer Pratt is so onto this because it's happening in my own friend group.
Yeah, I think he's just spot on with it. I think he's just got a good... I think when you've had happen to him what happened to him...
Yeah.
I think it opens up your eyes to a whole lot. Yeah, and again, this is a guy who's had his house burned down, runs for mayor. If there was ever here's an example of how you get cheated out of something where you're in second place, the third place finisher is well behind you and concedes the race, yet by the evening and then the next several days, you're no longer in second place anymore.
Yeah.
I think it makes you start questioning a whole ton of stuff and pointing out a lot of the hypocrisy.
Isn't it crazy that he said that it's the exact opposite of Occam's razor?
Yeah. Not the most obvious answer.
Yeah, that stood out to me a little bit just because you've used that so many times. But he makes more sense than anybody in the mainstream media. He really does. And this is the former reality star.
Yeah.
It's people that are look. It's not just him, though. It's really smart people like Jillian Michaels. It's really smart people that oftentimes I don't agree with, like Bill Maher. It's happening. People are going, wait. Some of this is just way too far. I can't embrace whatever it is that you're embracing, like blaming the dad in the Lindsay Clancy case. That's unbelievable. I cut that down to one. Dude, there was a minute of women on TikTok just going crazy about how the woman's innocent. It was nuts. If you get a chance, go hear it all. Like I said, it's 10 minutes, but you're going to go, yep, you'll nod your head through the whole thing. When we continue next on Extra 106.3, Los is going to open up Pandora's box on Extra 106.3.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
As time goes by, it becomes more and more important for us to be able to identify the crazies, the nut jobs, the lunatics in our midst. Thankfully, the lunatics are making it easier to spot them. Nose jewelry, nose rings. Yeah, that's a key indicator. also wearing Palestinian scarves and talking about genocide committed by Israel. You really want to expose a lunatic? Ask them if they believe that Israel has a right to exist. And by the way, it has for 78 years. Or do Jews have a right to defend themselves? That really upsets the lunatic fringe. What do these crazies defend when they're defending Hamas and Gaza and so-called Palestinians? The attacks of October the 7th were horrendous to normal-thinking people. Here's a partial list. Parents were murdered in front of their children. A baby was shot while she was cradled in her mother's arms. 2 cowering sisters, aged 13 and 16, were slaughtered inside their homes. A 79-year-old woman was killed along with her autistic 12-year-old granddaughter. Terrified young concert goers hiding in the park in parked cars were systematically executed. Kids playing at a beach fled into a shelter where they were slain along with their adults. A Thai worker was decapitated. Women were found shot, naked from the waist down, bound with plastic ties, their genitals burned with gasoline. Hamas abductors filmed a woman with the seat of her pants soaked in blood and posted it on social media. The Democrat socialists, the true lunatics out there, still refuse to say that Israelis have the right to defend themselves. Thank you for being so obvious. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Bringing down the hammer, CJ Pop of Fox News. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent laying down the law on Iran. Fox's Trey Yanks in Tel Aviv.
Among the new sanctions includes an expanded list of secondary sanctions targeting digital assets, technology, gold, aviation, and shipping. In addition, the Treasury Department sanctioned nearly 60 entities, individuals, and vessels in multiple jurisdictions. The actions go after what the department describes as a network of shadow fleet vessels operating across many different countries. Iranian officials threatened retaliation to the economic measures. Another tanker was struck in the Strait of Hormuz with an unknown projectile while transiting the U.S.-approved southern route. The vessel had damage caused to its engine room and was disabled.
President Trump pokes the bear, floating the idea of changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America, posting on Truth Social since he does not expect to do much business with Ontario any longer. It's part of the trade dispute with Canada, which is expected to reveal its retaliatory tariffs today. Second Lady Usha Vance responding to Michigan Democratic Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed, who suggested Vance's grandfather would have rejected her.
I have to admit, I kind of laughed because, yes, I never met JD's mama and papa, but I do know and love the children that they raised. You know, his mom, his aunt and uncle. And they have never been anything but incredibly loving. I mean, his aunt is like a second mother to me.
This from a Fox Friends exclusive that airs Wednesday morning. The U.S. Supreme Court hands President Trump a major victory.
It lifts a lower court block that prevented the administration from implementing key parts of Trump's March executive order, which called for the federal government to create lists of voters eligible to receive federal ballots. It requires states to provide information so the Postal Service can verify that voters on those lists are eligible.
That is Fox's Alex Hogan reporting. America's listening to Fox News.
When it comes to supplements, 2 things matter most. A, that it works, and that you can trust it. Rather than just tell you about Relief Factor, we'll let our audience do that. We hear from people every single day whose lives have changed, and I want you to hear a few of their stories. Doug took Relief Factor for nearly a year before convincing his wife, a special needs teacher, to try it. She had been using assistance just to move through the long hallways at school. Now she's back on her feet every day and never had to leave the job that she loves. I remember when buttoning my shirt was almost impossible, but Relief Factor changed how I'm able to do it and the simple things again. And they make it really easy now for you to find out if you can be the next person that's telling us about Relief Factor and how it gave you your life back. 3 weeks, $17.76. Try it. ReliefFactor.com, 800-4RELIEF. You'll connect with their friendly local team, and they'll do everything they can to help. We hope you soon will be sharing your story with us as well. ReliefFactor.com.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 1063.
Tug and Los on Extra 1063. Glad that you're here. We're grateful for you spending time with us today. Hopefully you'll do it every day. I don't know if y'all been seeing the videos of the SpaceX Falcon 9 launch, because it was supposed to be able to be seen across the entire East Coast for the most part. Brad Nintz, the meteorologist, has posted about it this morning. I've seen a handful of people, and everywhere from Florida all the way up through New Jersey. And it looked pretty cool, man. It did. Looked amazing. Just shows you what people are capable of if government gets out of their way.
Well, you know what space is.
Well, it's dumb, Los.
Yeah,
I
but
didn't know that.
It does kind of look cool.
It does, even
when we're flying through dumb.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's hard not to look cool when you're flying through dumb. It's like, if you're the cool guy in high school and you walk through a bunch of, dopey people, you definitely look cool.
It's why, if you ever notice, there's always like a good-looking woman who has a handful of friends that aren't so good-looking.
Yeah, smart.
So she goes from like an 8 to like an 11.
Yeah, that's right. Just off the charts.
She turns it up to 11.
That's right. Absolutely. And so immediately she's the draw. I understand why it happens. I do. But I was reading about this just because that was kind of so prominent this morning. And I was reading that researchers have 3D printed high-protein cookies from crop waste and recycled plastic. You heard me right. Recycled plastic. Cookies dubbed U-Bites are part of NASA's funded project aimed at feeding astronauts on long-duration missions. And they, heat up the plastics. And this is like the plastics that you use to create the plastic bottles, the single-use bottles you use. But they melt that all the way down. And there's a whole process. I could bore you with it. But basically, they turn that plastic, they mix it with some things, and they turn it into cookies that astronauts can eat that are high in protein.
Okay. I bet you they're not very good, but
that doesn't sound like they'd be good. Yeah. And something about, hadn't we been talking about microplastics for quite some time?
That's what I was going to say. I feel like a couple of weeks ago we were just talking about how.
Thank you. I thought so too. Even my son, who's a college athlete, and his buddy, who's a college athlete, they were talking about reducing, and have been for quite some time, reducing their use of plastics altogether.
Yeah.
He made us, before he came home for the summer, even prior to that, he asked us, he said, can you buy me some non-plastic bowls so I can cook? This is when he first got to Augusta last year. Can you get non-plastic bowls? Can you get me some glass bowls that I could use to cook in? And then he never uses most often don't use single-use plastic bottles. He'll use filtered water out of the refrigerator and use like a Yeti or something.
Yep, that's what I got right.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I feel like this has been such a discussion, and now all of a sudden NASA's like, well, we got a different plan. We're going to actually melt that down and let you eat it. Well, good Lord, that's crazy.
Okay, so I think this is like one of the current trends of and it's always something. But in this case, the idea of microplastics, I don't really put it in the whole, like when the ozone layer was going down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be the ozone layer to kill you.
Oh, it's terrible.
I think the trend is that we've actually realized that perhaps ingesting plastics is not the best idea for us on a regular basis.
I would think so too, but those NASA folks seem smart. They seem like they're ahead of the curve. Experts say this technology could help divert plastic waste while meeting global food demands by making food out of plastic.
At the very least, the toxins that are associated when it comes to plastics, microplastics, is supposed to mess with your digestive tract. The very least,
right?
Here's what it is.
I feel like I'm in bonkers land. I feel like things have gone crazy. We've gone from, don't drink too much out of a bottled water. You'll have microplastics in your testicles. And then the next day, we're not only going to have you drink it, we're going to have you eat it. They're going to 3D print it. Dude, it's crazy. We live in the most upside down time ever. We're in the craziest part of the life timeline. It seems so obvious to me.
It's a great, fun time to be alive. We're right on the verge of AI. We actually are talking about alien spacecraft. The Yeti has not revealed himself yet. We talk about giants in Afghanistan. There's a lot of good stuff going on here, Tug.
Yes, no doubt. No question.
You do know about the Kandahar giant, don't you?
The Kandahar giant.
Oh, is this an X-Files possibility that people were asking for yesterday?
Might want to look into the Kandahar giant, Tug.
Kandahar giant, Afghanistan.
Spell it. Sound it out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I got it. Surprisingly enough. A famous modern military urban legend, Special Forces team killed masked 13-foot-tall, red-haired humanoid in the mountains of Afghanistan in 2002. I just don't know about that. I mean, maybe, but probably wouldn't.
There are giant people out there, Tug.
Well,
do you not believe the Bible?
Yeah, of course I do. Of course. I just hadn't seen a giant lately.
Do you believe that there were giants?
Yes, I do, because David killed one of the giants.
There you go.
Yes.
There's a possibility.
Yeah, no, I just not seen any lately. You know, if anything.
Well, you better go down to the Smithsonian and ask them to see the giant bones that they don't want to display.
Okay, well, look, they told me being on time was a bad thing. So I'm not sure I'm going to listen to them.
I'm far too white to go down to the Smithsonian.
I'm just saying.
Be sure to not show up on time or else you'll be a white supremacist.
Oh, but that's what I'm saying.
And do not act polite either, because that's white supremacy.
Another part of white supremacy. Absolutely right. So anyway, I'm not saying that of course giants existed at some point. Yes, I believe that. But I just don't know where they are right now. And it seems
like we know it's in Afghanistan.
Well, they went away. But in Afghanistan and Kandahar, Tug.
No, it's dead. They've already popped it, I thought. It said
there
they killed
multiple.
it. But you don't think the other giants would have come out and tried to help the one giant that was getting shot at?
Man, the AI is lying to me. It says the Smithsonian Institution does not possess giant human bones.
Well, of course, Los, you're just wrong about that. You know, I'm sure that Google has it all right.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you're really big into the wet market.
Yes, exactly right. My point.
Put on a mask.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, dude. I went over this all weekend long when people were like, I Googled it. And I was like, okay, well, there's your problem. There's the first thing you've done wrong. Ask Google. They're not going to tell you the truth. You're not getting the truth in there. And it's so true. You know, like half of the crap you read. And like we got into the AI discussion too. People were like, oh, I use AI for everything. You know, they're talking about at work, how much they use AI. And they're like, you don't use it? And I was like, yeah, I do some. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, here and there. But, 40 to 60%, we'll call it 50. Let's just say half. Half the information you get from AI is wrong. We had the story last week where most of the information AI is pulling from was Reddit, which is full of crap.
Which is complete crap.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have to be careful about when you get something back from AI, you have to be careful that it's real. And I guess it just depends on what you're looking for.
Well, I'm not concerned about the realness of the Kandahar giant. Maybe you should start rethinking your position on this, Doug.
I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better.
I'm going to do better. Like he's going to go home and do some homework. I really got to get better at being better.
Who wants to stay bad? Nobody. You always want to do better.
You're going to go home and you're going to pull a breaker on the way home. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be so
You're going
great.
to take the whole power out of like some poor Wendy's and they're going to be like, what happened? Is it a random storm? Yeah. Like Tug Coward.
I know, right. I don't know what happened. The flock cameras say I did it, but the reader had my license plate wrong.
Can you imagine when the cops pull you over and they ask you why you pulled a breaker over at Taco Bell and you're like, I just couldn't help myself.
I just saw the breaker and it was open and I just had to go do it. It was something that my inner child had convinced myself to do. Because I wouldn't sell y'all. I wouldn't. There's no way I'd be like, oh, my friends told me to do it. You know, you got to keep y'all out of it. I would just be like, it's just something I've been wanting to do. I've been reading about it, some of the mischievous things that happen on the internet, and I wanted to do bad things. You know, I just wanted to do some hood rat stuff. And so I picked this Taco Bell.
I'm asking right now. I said, if I pulled a breaker and caused a random Taco Bell to lose power, what would be the fine?
Yeah, what would be the charge?
All right, well, I'm sure it's disorderly conduct, right?
Yeah, probably
it's kind of
trespassing. Trespassing.
Well, but you never entered. You were outside.
Can you get arrested for being too cool?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Oh, okay. It typically involves criminal mischief / vandalism.
Okay.
Tampering with or interfering with utility services.
Okay, yeah. See.
Now, it does say almost certainly trespassing. It says breakers for a commercial property like a Taco Bell or on private property.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Just because if you're on their property and you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing, then you're not supposed to be there. You know, if you're going through there ordering a quesadilla and a Doritos Locos taco, then you're invited. But if you just go flip the breaker, they don't want you to come by.
So it says fines can range from $500 to $2,500. It's a misdemeanor.
$500.
I was going to say, if that's a misdemeanor, it's kind of worth it.
How much? $500?
$500 to $2,500.
Oh, $2,500. Boy, that is not.
Courts routinely order payment for the business's actual losses. A busy Taco Bell can lose significant revenue, plus the cost of discarded food during an outage.
Yeah. See, remember I was talking about the hamburgers? They're throwing them, all that wasted food.
This was a pretty good criminal act. I mean, we might pull 3 or 4 in a night.
Yes, I don't know why we wouldn't start maybe even tonight. I mean, if you got nothing going on.
If you've got nothing going on, why don't we get out in them streets and pull some breakers?
Do some bad things.
Tuggle drive.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny when you get home and your wife's like, "Oh, what did you and Bryce and Los do?"
We just watched
hood rat things.
That's right. Do bad things. Just some hood rat
But
things.
I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
That's right.
That's it. I mean, why is that so bad? Why are you knocking my good time?
It's fun to do bad things.
Why are you knocking my good time? Just don't. Why must you continue to judge me on the things I do? I mean, good Lord, I thought good liberals were supposed to just let you do anything, and that's why we need more of them.
That's right.
So we can do hood.
Got to respect the game.
That's right. Morning Xtra and Xtra 106.3. Let's get to the first thing to know this morning, other than the hood rat stuff. Get your lighters ready, too.
Tuned in to the morning show and said, "Give me the truth today." She poured her coffee, grabbed her phone, whispered, "Lord, light up the way." They could hear the leftist talking. He said, "This is my daily fight. If they take me to the office, they won't take my common sense alive." There was the morning.
Yes, it is the Morning Xtra.
At the dawn
battling for common sense. All right, I've been waiting for this segment the entirety of the show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because we touched on this in the 6 o'clock hour to open up the show. And this truly is Pandora's box. If you happen to be a sports fan / capitalist, either one, this covers it all. So we covered the story a little bit yesterday, and we talked about it a little bit this morning. You now have a scenario where the NCAA has enacted a rule in which you have 5 years to play 5 years. But when they enacted it, they said that any player who's already exhausted their eligibility is not going to be able to take advantage of it. It is not retroactive to them. Well, enough court cases have been filed that you have had courts that have sided with players and allowed them to have a 5th year of eligibility. What the designation has not clarified is even if you're a pro player, can you go back and play in college? And that is now happening. When I say it is Pandora's box, Tug, because we all want college football to be uniform and we all kind of want it the way it used to be.
Yep.
The problem is that if there's work in this country that you choose to do and you can earn a salary doing it and you're more than qualified, you can handle all of it, then why is there an organization that has the right to tell you that you can't do it or that you can only do it for so long? And that's going to be the legal argument that college football is not capitalism and that for some reason it's not allowed to be capitalistic.
I'm wondering if there will be an argument to being an employee versus not being an employee. Does that give the NCAA, that's just me right off the top of my head, does that give the NCAA and those schools some wiggle room? Because, yes, they get paid NIL, but they're not technically employees, so you can kind of set the ground rules.
Well, and I think that ends up being the challenge here. If they are employees, let's say that's the scenario you go down, well, then you can collectively bargain with a union if they can form one And now we have the ground rules by which you will play. In this case, 5 years to play 5. If I am just receiving NIL, then why are you stipulating how long I can receive NIL for? I'm not your employee.
Yeah,
the Pandora's box here gets complicated.
And I don't know how it ends or what the actual answer is going to end up being. But I do believe if the schools put their foot down and say no, we're not going to allow this, which I don't know all of them will. Maybe they will. The SEC had that statement that they released saying, it's college athletes, not pro athletes. I don't know if I...
Yeah, they were mad and said nothing.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I was like, strong stance.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, do they really feel that way? Are they willing to go to court and battle it out? Because, look, they got the money to do it. But see, that's where I don't know if they are able to pull this off or not. Because I hope they are. I really do. It's not often times that I cheer for the NCAA. It rarely, ever. I don't think I've ever cheered for the NCAA. But in this instance, I almost hope that the NCAA is able to get a win here because I want to protect college football. That's the only desire I have. That's it.
It's weird because I am in a situation where I think when it comes to sports and some politics and stuff, I can be well-read, sometimes educated. Every now and then I'll say something smart. But the issue that I keep coming back to is the best thing for college football also goes against what I believe in this country. And that's the issue I have.
I know.
Here.
I get it.
Because if you were to say, well, Los, why do you feel this way about, let's say, high school sports? Then I would say very simply, well, high school sports is made up of minors that are participating. They're not being compensated to do so. This is the reason why. Here's how I feel about it. But when you're reaching the college level, just as, like, for instance, if I'm a Major League Baseball player, a minor league baseball player, I'm a compensated professional. Same thing in the NHL, the NBA, the NFL. You play until your skills say you cannot play any longer. That's your choice when you're in and you're out.
Yep.
Well, the league decides when you're out sometimes. But
yeah, sure.
Like Tom Brady could have kept playing, and he just decided, okay, I'm done now. Why is college football the only place, collegiate athletics right now, where you're receiving significant money, but you're told how long you can do the job, and you're not collectively bargaining for that?
I think you could probably bring up, hey, you volunteered to come here and play. We're paying for your education. There is an avenue for you to make money. But you volunteered for this. I don't get paid when I go volunteer at church. I'm there because I want to be. And so we've given you this premise. We've given you 5 years to be here if you want to be. And if you choose like you don't want to be here anymore, you don't have to be. You can drop out.
Well, let me ask you this, Tug. And I'm doing this.
I know devil's advocate because this is all going to come up in court. All these discussions,
and they're all complicated. Devil's advocate discussion. When you got up this morning, could you have laid in bed if you wanted to?
Sure could have.
But you decided, it's my job, I'm going to work.
Yep.
You decided, here's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
All right, there's not a lot of difference, if there any, between the collegiate athlete and Tug Cowart right now. You're both compensated to be there, to perform, to do the job.
But again, I'm an employee of Dickey Broadcasting where they're not employees of the school.
And so there's the designation there. If I am an employee of the school, then I am going to be able to decide terms for how long. Like there's a lot of contract in our industry. They're contract employees. Here's how long my contract's for. And hopefully that will continue, but it is at the discretion of ownership and management to decide whether or not to renew and to continue that contract. That's what we enter into. What I am pointing out is that the players are essentially already employees, but they don't have a collective bargained contract to dictate the terms of how long they can do it. And as long as they're only NIL, I think that's where they're going to have the legal argument that you can't kick me out of here.
See, it's interesting because it seems like it would go the other way for me.
Yeah.
Because they're not employees, that's when you can set the terms. Just like when I go volunteer, they say, hey, we need you to pack up these school supplies because we're going to do a school drive and make sure that some kids have enough backpacks and school supplies to go to school. And I get there, and I'm doing that, and they're like, hey, you know what? We could really use you to go scrub the toilet. Could you? I know you did that in the Navy. Could you go scrub the toilet over here, at the church house? And be like, no, I didn't come here to scrub. I came here to pack this, and I'm not getting paid for any of it, so I'm leaving. That's the way I think, because I volunteered to go there. I'm not an employee. I can say I'm leaving at any time.
All right, let me put this forward to you in this way.
Okay.
And this is more for you and I, and we'll kind of describe for the audience.
Okay.
There are people in radio that work as employees of a station that are under a contract.
Mm-hmm.
There are also those that are not employees of a station, and it's taxed differently, it's treated differently legally, it's just how that goes. What I'm pointing out is that when you enter into that contract as an employee, there are clearly terms, stipulations.
Yeah.
Here's what's coming. Here's what's going to happen. From doing freelance like I have, it's the Wild West.
Yeah, it totally is. Yeah,
and that's where I compare NIL to. Is that it's more the Wild West. I would love for there to be more structure, because then we could have ground rules.
Yeah.
But at that point, you have employees.
Yeah. I think it's a really wise way of looking at it. I think this is all going to boil down to the employee versus non-employee.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll be wrong about it. Maybe it'll all blow up in my face. But if you're not an employee,
going to blow up in all of our faces right now.
And we're going to lose the sport we love, which sucks. I just want them to get it right so I don't lose. It's a bit selfish if I'm being completely honest. Because I do believe that kids should be able to earn money off their name. There's nothing more American than earning money off of your name. Whether it's signing autographs or speaking on behalf of, this, that, and the other Chevrolet or whatever. I just think that's a deal that you do with those independent people. If you got a company that wants your autograph, you sign the deal with them. You sign the contract with them, Wild West style. If there's a Chevy dealership, you sign but it's still not an employee situation for the school. And that's the only way I see it being possible to salvage it. And like I said, I don't know that I'm right about it. I could be completely wrong. When we continue on Extra 106.3, let's do a flashback. I want to know if you want to go back to the 1914 unfettered immigration model. Next on Extra.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our Extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the Extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
I mean, I was down at the beach, so the humidity there was through the roof, and I loved every bit of it. Now, not everybody did. There were days, as we're down there, and people were like, wow, it is really hot. I'm like, yeah, isn't it great? We're at the beach. It's supposed to be hot. But you don't want it to be hot in your house. When I got back home, guess what? I did not want it to be inside, hot or humid. Central Heating and Air Conditioning makes that happen for me. They can make it happen for you, too. We've had, a bit of rain. Was last week we had some rain. We're out of a drought. We've had so much rain. 10-month drought. So that is leading to excess moisture that can build up inside your home. Sticky, muggy, even when that air conditioner is running, man, it's running like a marathon too. 408 AC is just trying its best to make it all work. And Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck and his team, recommend a whole house dehumidifier. Works for the HVAC, takes out that excess moisture throughout the house, helping improve your comfort, get rid of those musty odors, especially in that basement. And then have a healthier indoor environment altogether. Right now, you can get $1,700 in carrier rebates and 60 months, 0% financing with approved credit. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. Turn to your Atlanta carrier experts at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering carrier comfort for the world we share.
For the purpose of this commercial, we'll refer to erectile dysfunction as ED.
This is the story of Ed. No one likes Ed. Ed can be a real problem, a real downer. Ed can come between you and your partner. And if you let Ed go unchecked, Ed'll continue to destroy your hanky-panky plans. Ed has taken over your life. On date night, all you can think about is Ed. When you roll over in bed for the morning smooch, there's Ed. And when you're cooking a romantic dinner for your wife, there's Ed in an apron. So how do you get rid of Ed? Kick them to the curb with Total Body Therapy of Georgia. They're Ed experts. They understand what causes Ed to be Ed, and they know how to get Ed going in the right direction. He'll learn to stand on his own with proven all-natural therapies that don't require surgery or downtime. So if you've had enough of Ed, take matters into your own hands. Call Total Body Therapy of Georgia at 404-777-1911. Learn more online at tbtofga.com.
There's never been a better time to fall in love with Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett. Now through August 31st, get award-winning vehicles and exceptional offers from a brand you trust during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Explore the full lineup of hybrid, electric, gas, and wilderness vehicles, including the trusted 2026 Subaru Forester and the all-new 2026 Subaru Outback. Every Subaru is made with love and built to last, with dependability and value coming standard. It's no surprise why Consumer Reports named Subaru the best overall automotive brand for 2 years in a row, based on reliability, safety, owner satisfaction, and road test evaluation. At Subaru of Gwinnett, there's a lot to discover and a lot to love. Get special low rates on select vehicles from August 1st through August 31st on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com. Consumer Reports does not endorse products or services. Visit Subaru.com/CR to learn more.
Summer is coming to an end and football season is about to kick off. There are plenty of things to celebrate this time of year, but when this celebration includes alcohol, do not make the wrong decision to drink and drive. Georgia has a zero tolerance for drunk driving, meaning all drivers caught over the limit will be arrested. No exceptions, no warnings. That's why the Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to avoid the risk of a DUI arrest by planning ahead for a ride with a sober driver. Sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
You've worked for years, diligently putting money away into your retirement savings. For years, those accounts have had one job: to grow. But now, retirement is on your horizon. That big bucket that had one job for years now needs to cover many jobs. Future income, short-term growth, long-term growth, future medical expenses, tax-free income, a long-term care strategy, that roof that needs replacing. The list goes on, and everyone's needs in retirement are different. You need a plan. Master Plan Retirement works with you to create a holistic, comprehensive plan for your retirement. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation. You have to know where you are before you can get to where you want to be. masterplanretire.com.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, August 25th, and here are your headlines. The U.S. and Canada are heading toward an even bigger trade fight, as Canada is expected to announce retaliatory tariffs today, after President Trump warned Canadian leaders to, quote, fall in line or face consequences, quote, far worse. Trump says tariffs on Canadian vehicles, steel, and other imports could rise to 50%, while Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says Ottawa won't accept being treated as a subsidiary of the United States. NASA is putting $10 million into Georgia Tech to help fill the aerospace industry's skilled labor gap. The program will train workers for jobs including welding, machining, and artificial intelligence, rather than focusing solely on traditional aerospace careers. Officials say Georgia is already home to nearly 800,000 aerospace jobs. And finally, Georgia's governor's race is getting more personal and closer as Democrat Keisha Lance Bottoms confronted Republican Rick Jackson at an event and asked him to keep her family out of his campaign ads. Jackson's campaign has been targeting Bottoms and her husband over a taxpayer-funded plane ticket to the Super Bowl while she was still mayor. Jackson is touting endorsements from 104 Georgia sheriffs across the state. Expect mostly sunshine today with a high of 92 and a low of 71. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Download the app so you can listen live and on demand to the Morning Extra. We're with you for another 28 minutes or so. Then you get Glenn Beck program, Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, and tomorrow afternoon, Wednesday from 3 until 6, you get the Kimmer Show live from Shuck and Shack, Oyster Bar and Company.
Wow.
Yes, it's right. Yes, that's exactly what I said. When I first picked it up this morning, I was like, wow, that's going to be great. That's going to be so much fun. Well, the first one that they did, at the Alpharetta location off Highway 9 was so huge. It was so packed.
And then they lit the place on fire.
And, they went and breakered it, I heard.
Yeah.
And
they just decided, let's make this thing get crazy.
Let's throw the switch and burn some oysters. And so it was such a huge success. They're like, well, we should do this more often. And Kimmer Show agreed. And so they're going to be at the coming location tomorrow, 3 until 6, 415 Peachtree Parkway. Crazy thing is, I've actually been to that one several times, and I've never been to the one that's really, really close.
It's not all about you, honey.
Well, I didn't I wasn't making it about.
You did make it about you.
I wasn't making it. I was just merely saying that I've been to the other one. I haven't been to the one closest to my house. That's all I was saying, Kim. Good.
Clearly, Kimber does not like it when you go all Toby Keith.
For sure.
In fact, we might need to work that music in.
I want to talk about me. You want to talk about? I want to talk about number one. Me, oh my. I know that.
I just want to hear the hit. Want to talk about me?
Such a great song, man. I love it. It's a
great song.
So good. It's absolutely the best.
Doug Cowart, the Morning Extra. I want to talk about me.
That's right. All the time. All day, every day. From 6 to 10, if we could just talk about me more. Not at all, man. I would never want to do that. That would be the most boring show ever. I did say this, and it stood out to me before we get this flashback. Bucky said they may be done with trying to win over blue states that don't want their business. The CEO, Arch Alpin III, says the Texas... what a great name, right? Arch Alpin III.
Arch Alpin III.
Yeah, exactly. I've got this very nice hat. He said that they are looking for conservative, business-friendly states to expand to, saying that those communities appreciate what Buc-ee's brings to the table. Quote, life's too short to build in a place where people don't appreciate what you're bringing. Newest location going to be in Arkansas. But I got to be honest with you. I understand why he's doing that. It makes complete sense to me. I just don't like Buc-ee's that well. Is that a faux pas?
No, not at all. And
it's just too much.
I like it because first off, the bathrooms are always clean.
Yep,
it's pristine.
Yep.
If you travel, that's a big deal,
especially with ladies, because you have a car full of ladies.
I got 3 in the car normally when we make the longer trips. I also really appreciate that no matter what, when we go to Buc-ee's, both of them are happy that there's like 20 options of stuff they can eat.
Yep.
Road stuff. And so, my wife and I, all we ever do is we grab like some gummy bears or something and just kind of go about our business. But no, Buc-ee's delivers for what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be an enhanced roadside spot.
It's like a Walmart gas station.
But if you hit Buc-ee's at the right time, like Ben just back here said off hours, ooh. It is a great stop.
So when we were headed down to the beach, some friends of ours, their son is at Auburn, and they stopped at that one at Auburn, and they were like, not a soul was in there. It was the right time, as you're saying, and they got in quick, in and out. The last time, prior to this vacation, the last time we drove by a Buc-ee's, we were coming home from South Carolina, and we passed one of the new ones that was just opening, and dude, the line down the interstate was about 4 miles long. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, what in the... Because I had no idea that they would just open a Buc-ee's. And we had just by chance picked that exit to get off of. We were like, hey, why don't we, wait 3 or 4 exits? And so we get off the exit, but the problem is the traffic, because we needed to turn left to go anywhere but Buc-ee's, the traffic, you couldn't turn left off the interstate. So it was awful, dude. And I didn't even go.
Tug turned into frozen caveman lawyer. I don't understand all of your gas pumps and lights.
Yeah, right.
And brisket on demand.
No, I get it all. I just don't want to fight you for it.
I just can't handle all of this stuff. I'm just a common caveman.
That's right. All these options. I'm going to stand over here and bang on my chest for a little while. No, it was just too much. To me, it's just too much.
We've gone in there when it's like peak hours.
Yeah,
that is too much for me. Now, the one cool part is that when we do go to like a volleyball tournament in Orlando or somewhere else like that, it's almost invariably you will run into like 10 people because we all leave right around the same time, and we all hit Buc-ee's at about the same time.
Yeah.
So it just turns into all the girls like hanging out and talking while they're figuring out what they're going to get. And the parents being like, how many more hours you got? Like 4 or 5?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Goodness. Yeah, it's just, it's fine. I made the mistake in front of my friends, though, saying that I didn't like Boosie's. And Lord, you would have thought I said I worship the devil.
I don't buy the shirt or anything else, but it's got a place.
But these friends buy the little cups,
I got pajama pants.
You do?
I do.
Okay, so
and a sweatshirt.
They're okay.
And a Yeti cup.
Yep, they're like you. Like it on. Nerds. Let's flash back real quick on Xtra 106.3.
We said all there is to say, baby, flashback, go ahead and give it to me. Flashback, honey.
Milton Friedman, absolute genius. He's a guy that you should listen to if you've never spent any time listening to him. He quickly explains the difference between open immigration, which we had over the last 4 years, under the Biden administration. I guess we've been with Trump for 2, and that is shut down, versus 1914, when there was basically unfettered migration to the United States. He puts it so succinctly, and it's so easy to understand. It's about jobs and assimilation. Listen.
I've always been amused by a kind of a paradox. Suppose you go around and ask people. The United States, as you know, before 1914 had completely free immigration. Anybody could get on a boat and come to these shores, and if he landed on Ellis Island, he was an immigrant. Was that a good thing or a bad thing? You will find hardly a soul who will say it was a bad thing. Almost everybody will say it was a good thing. But then I suppose I say to the same people, but now what about today? Do you think we should have free immigration? Oh, no, they'll say, we couldn't possibly have free immigration today. Why, that would flood us with immigrants from India and God knows where. We'd be driven down to a bare subsistence level. What's the difference? How can people be so inconsistent? Why is it that free immigration was a good thing before 1914 and free immigration is a bad thing today? Well, there's a sense in which that answer is right. There's a sense in which free immigration, in the same sense as we had it before 1914, is not possible today. Why not? Because it is one thing to have free immigration to jobs. It is another thing to have free immigration to welfare. And you cannot have both. If you have a welfare state, if you have a state in which every resident is promised certain minimum level of income,
like let's say maybe the Somalis up in Minneapolis or something like that.
Like that, just as an example of a possibility of a maybe.
Just a maybe, because what he's saying is so right. If the reason they came here is because they were told, hey, if you go there, they will cut you a check and you can rob them blind and nobody cares. So what he's saying is so dead on.
It's the inducements. It's I was talking about this with Victor, Tug, and it's the whole theory of how do we make it harder to exist here. Mm-hmm. And what it came down to was, well, if you don't have, and like during the Biden years, it was a guaranteed, here's your check, and here's your money, and here's how you'll be able to subsist here, and here's how, if you're fortunate enough or you're scammy enough, you can be able to take advantage of the system. Here's how you can make real money doing it. Well, the more we can eliminate all of that, then the easier it is to basically tell people, listen, you come here, we're either going to send you off to an African nation or you're going to die here.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to subsist here,
and nobody's cutting checks. And there was the story, and I don't have it all in front of me, so please forgive me. But I guess there was an immigrant that ended up, an illegal that ended up in an African nation.
They shipped him off to an African. Now he was like, "Why didn't you send me home?" It's like
your home wouldn't accept you.
I think I had put it in my show notes. You know how to avoid that? Stop coming into a country illegally.
I mean, that seems to me. You know where I've never been sent? To an African nation. And I've been all over the world because I didn't choose to stay in those nations that say you can't stay here without some sort of ID or some sort of visa program.
There are places in this world where when you get in trouble and your choices are, do you want to be in the inside of a prison or we're going to ship you out of here? I'd be like, I don't care where you send me.
Yeah, right. I don't want to be in a prison. I'll
figure out a way home.
Absolutely. Let me get myself out of here. As a matter of fact, don't y'all have that app where you'll give me $2,000 and a plane ticket if I go on the app right back home? Yes.
And then you'll give me preferential if I actually try and do this the right way?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, let's face it. between the amount of abortions that are going on in this country and the lack of the birth rate. Right now, the only people that are breeding are the conservatives, okay? Like that, the numbers are basically, we're going to breed out. If everybody stayed in their political tribe, you're going to breed out the liberals. Now, the issue becomes, the bigger issue is that we're not producing enough people.
Right.
And so there are spots to come to this country, but all we've said is do it legally. Let's make sure you're part of the system. It's not that we're sitting here with a no vacancy sign. We know we need more people. That is just for the perpetuation of the country. But as a nation and as the greatest nation in the world, we should be able to have the right to be selective to those people.
Right.
And that's not just like the highest end workers, which I'd love to be able to say that, we obviously have some problems there, but yes, there are people that we need here for manual labor, but again, legal.
Yeah, no, that's all you. And here's the other thing that I don't think people take into account. With the way that AI is going to be taking jobs, we will need less and less. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's something that I don't feel like gets brought up enough. If AI is going to take as many jobs as it's forecasted to, we will need less and less people to come here because we will have less and less jobs.
And that's where I think the jobs where you're putting your hands on stuff, that's so where it's going to matter. Now, right. I'm not saying they won't come up with an AI combine that'll pick all of our fruit and our vegetables, but in the meantime, those are the jobs that I know for sure those are safe.
Yeah, in the short term for sure. When we come back, one senator has not changed his words in 30 years, and nothing's happened either. Seems odd. Next on Extra, 106.3 The Morning Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, August 25th. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand at Truist Park tonight with a visit from the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound for the Braves this evening. He'll be opposed by Tyler Glasnow. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. From college football, the Southeastern Conference issued a statement last night in belief that athletes who leave college and sign professional contracts should not be permitted to be part of collegiate athletics once again, saying, quote, college athletes, not former professional athletes, have been at the heart of the Southeastern Conference. Individuals who choose to leave college athletics, sign professional playing contracts, and compete professionally should not be then permitted to return to college competition. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Hey Atlanta, it's Drake Baldwin here. When I won Rookie of the Year, I thought of everyone who helped me along the way. My friends, my family, and hot showers. That's why when something goes wrong, I call Superior Plumbing. Still locally owned, Superior has been serving Atlanta for over 40 years as the go-to plumber for leak repairs, toilet replacement, and water heater installation. They don't call them the honest one for no reason. Superior's team is my MVP. Remember, there's no job too small.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalomia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day. The
This is Tom, the Honest Car Guy, and I'm here with Ron. And I'll let Ron tell you a little bit about his experience with us, and not only that, but the differences between a new car dealership and the Honest Car Guy, because there is a difference, with no doc fees and no addendums. It's kind of straightforward. They get to see what we pay for the car, and that's not something you get at a dealership.
Usually we're back and forth, and then you get like 1,400 pages of paper. And in this case, we did it all online. I mean, it was like, okay, I don't mind doing paperwork once I know that this is the deal.
And you got to see the financing, the numbers
up
see
front
all of it
before you even bought it.
You can make that call, and within hours, we can find you the car you want from your home. I mean, I had a customer call me up and say, hey, I bought a car in my pajamas.
If I'd have had some, I'd have been wearing them.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
When you retire, you'll walk away from meetings, deadlines, and spreadsheets. But you know what you also walk away from? Your paycheck. So now what? You call Evan Ward and the team at Atlas Retirement. Evan's main focus has always been protecting what you have and building a paycheck that comes in every month. Call today for a no-cost, no-obligation meeting with Evan Ward and Atlas Retirement. 678-252-5224.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
The Kimmer Show is only live on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
The bonus marchers from the nation's capital. The bonus expeditionary force.
What? The what? The expedition force?
Excuse me?
Save that. That was at 4:05 p.m.
I was misquoted.
The Kimmer Show, every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
That is great. That is so prime Kimmer Show right there. If you want to hear craziness like that, 3 to 6 afternoon, you will get it here on Extra 106.3.
It's a wonderful promo.
Yes, it is. He said the boners. What?
The what?
Huh? Yeah, bonus. Oh, you meant bonus, I'm sure. God, that's funny, man. That is peak.
Holy cow.
Yes, I agree with you, buddy. Holy cow is exactly right. If somebody said the same thing to you for 30 years, Los, I mean, just as an example, somebody said, hey, it's going to rain tomorrow, and for 30 years it never did. Maybe that's a bad example, but even better. For 30 years, every week they told you, I got you tickets to the Braves game, and they're free, and I'm going to hand them off to you, and whatever day you chose to get there, chose to meet up with, they would call you ahead of time and be like, hey, man, I'm sorry, I don't got them. 30 years. You would quit believing them, I would think, right?
Well, and I think when you make these grandiose statements, I think the goal is to not make them too grandiose. Like, for instance, Greta Thunberg used to be so big into climate change, and once she missed with the, hey, in this many years, we're all going to be dead. The world's got... And it came and went, and everyone's like, we're all still here, Greta.
Yeah.
And it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like if you're a cult leader, and you say, hey, it's all going to end on this day, and it doesn't, well, okay, you lose your power, and everyone realizes, man, he just wanted to have sex with all of us. That's just how it goes. Well, when it comes to Bernie Sanders, it's a little different. Bernie Sanders has said for 30 years, this is going to start in 1994, and you're going to notice how redundant it is. And you're going to notice that he's getting older and the words are slurring, just as anybody would as they get older. You know, he's damn near 80 now. For 30 years, he's going to warn you about how we're this close to this happening. Take a listen.
This great country of ours is moving very rapidly in the direction of oligarchy. The United States of America today is increasingly becoming an oligarchy. More and more moving toward an oligarchy. We are moving in the direction of oligarchy. We will move even more rapidly in the direction of an oligarchy. This great country is evolving into an oligarchic society. It is called oligarchy, and that is the system we are rapidly moving toward. This is a budget that moves our country rapidly into the direction of oligarchy. A handful of billionaires are moving this entire planet toward an oligarchic society.
Start off with the bad news, which is pretty bad, and that is that under Donald Trump, this country is hurtling rapidly toward oligarchy.
1994 to 2026, it never changed for 32 years. We were moving rapidly, evolving, moving rapidly. No matter what, it was always oligarchy.
Oligarchy. Oligarchy. Good. just that accent drives me nuts, and that's a side note, but that drives me nuts. But the fact that we're not even close to an oligarchy, maybe he should have checked his notes, got somebody to write something different. Come up with some other name for this. That way it doesn't sound the same all the time.
I mean, he actually went on tour over the summer with AOC with a giant sign that was like, fight the oligarchy, defeat the oligarchy.
Yeah.
AOC was barely born when he was pushing this mess over in Congress. It's like
how many homes does he have again?
And yes, if we want to talk about the oligarchy. An oligarchy is a power of a government that's made up of very few people. What I would say is, Bernie, babe, you're it.
Dude, hit him with a babe.
You're the oligarchy.
You're the oligarch.
If there is such a thing, that's you.
You're the person. Holy cow. Yeah, dude he's a punchline at this point, really. I mean, I guess there's some people that listen to him, but most
he had
people,
his day.
He
had
did,
his run.
and I think and it's past. And maybe nobody's told him. Maybe that's why he's still out there talking about the oligarchy.
I mean, he really had significant momentum in 2014, 2015, 2016.
Right.
Sometimes you just miss.
Well, or the Democrat Party's like, hey, sorry, I know it's your time. Yeah, I know it's your time, but we don't have time for that.
I mean, if you were to go back, and I want you to read up not that Tug will or not that Bryce will. This is like one of those things that I'll do, and then I'll be like, oh, hey, guys, look what I did.
And then months later, we'll stumble upon it.
Yes, exactly. You'll send me a podcast of like, you're going to be so impressed with this guy. I'm like, I sent it to you like 3 months ago.
No, exactly.
If you go back and look at what the writing and the discussion of Chris Christie in like 2009, 2010, he looked like as long as he can shape up a little bit, he's going to be president.
Right. Yep.
That's where it was. He was a Republican who had won New Jersey and was speaking tough, and everyone went, wow, that has so much more backbone than John McCain or any of the Mitt Romneys that were on the horizon ever had. And he just missed it. It just went away.
The only other person that kind of sounds like that a little bit to me is, as you were saying, it was Jeb Bush. It seemed like he was like on the cusp too.
Yeah, he had a decent run in Florida, and it looked like it. Now he ran into Donald Trump.
Yeah, right, and then it was over.
Yeah, I'll tell you another one, and it'll be probably from the same thing. If the next era is J.D. Vance, and whether that's as president or not, I believe the next era is J.D. Vance. Well, then how long is Ron DeSantis waiting his turn?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Because that's another one. What does that look like? 4 years, now 6 years. Or if you have a successful presidency with J.D. Vance, he's going to get to run again. So we're talking 10 years from now.
Yeah.
What does Ron DeSantis look like?
I'm thinking DeSantis is going to be Supreme Court because he's even talking about that. You know, I mean, it seems to be the not that I wouldn't want a DeSantis presidency because I think he would be stellar. I just don't know if it's in the cards. It just doesn't. I mean, not that things couldn't change because they certainly could.
Sure, I think Supreme Court justice would be outstanding. I also think that a Secretary of War sort of position is something in a future administration that he would have a place of prominence. But we'll always wonder, like, could that guy have won the presidency? Look what he did to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely could. And I'll tell you, man, the more Marco Rubio, the better. And look, I don't think Marco Rubio is going to try to leap over J.D. Vance. I think they're close, they're tight, they're friends. I don't think that's going to happen. But I know there are a lot of people that really like Marco, and with good reason.
Absolutely, 100%.
And with good reason, because he's been stellar.
If you were to tell me they were on one ticket.
Yeah. Which is the way I think it'll happen. Which the reason I brought that up is because that also kind of pushes DeSantis to the side.
That ends up being your super group.
It does.
You know?
Yeah, but if you could get DeSantis in that role of Secretary of War, to be honest, I would rather have him as a Supreme Court justice.
I agree. I would rather have that tenure in that place of defending the Constitution, because more than likely, if it is a Clarence Thomas that's the next to look into retirement, You want somebody who's going to be there for a long time, but also you want somebody who really embodies conservative ideals, and that would be more along the lines of DeSantis than anyone who's currently on the horizon that we've talked about.
Without a doubt. We are going to leave it here and tell you that we appreciate you being here and supporting the Morning Xtra, supporting Xtra 106.3 altogether. Support the people that advertise on this radio station. They share your values. Give them the first opportunity to earn your business, and that's the only thing we ever ask for the shows and the product that we try to put out for you every day. So on behalf of Front Office Los and Bryce too, my name is Tug.
I want to talk about me.
That's dirty. That's low down. That's low down, Bryce.
But fair.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
More than just headlines on your ride to work, it's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.